Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds. Now then, folks, how are you all doing? Honestly, I expected to hear some news today. I'm a little bit down about it, I won't lie. Anyways, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's recovered from Sunday. I hope everyone's looking forward to Saturday. I don't know if looking forward to Saturday is the right way of looking at it, but yeah, we shall see. I'd have been a lot more excited about the weekend and the prospects of going forward if we'd have had some movement today or last night, as rumoured. I put a video out last night. It were rife everywhere. You know, the rumours that something were happening last night. There were a meeting going on and apparently being sacked and this and that. And obviously, rumours don't always... rumours not coming to fruition doesn't always mean this, you know, no smoke without fire. There may be something going on. I've heard there were definitely a meeting. But yeah, as we sit here now at 10 o'clock on Wednesday night, Daniel Farke is still Leeds United manager. He's got his press conference tomorrow ahead of the City game at 1:30, which I found was very unusual to be tweeted out by Pope. Yeah, very unusual, to be fair, because I don't normally tweet them out, I don't think. So I'm led to believe after a bit of a discussion in my group chat, and Bevan as well, Bevan Cross, I don't normally tweet them out, so Bevan. I don't know why they felt the need to do that, maybe to shut the rumours down that were floating about. But yeah, I'm a bit of a back and forth with chat tonight as usual. When I do a solo stream, we'll get into it. We'll get your opinions, we'll get mine, and we'll see where we are come end of it. Usually go for about an hour and a half, you know me. I'm trying to stick to that sort of time frame tonight, and we'll see what you think. I'm really intrigued to see, whether you expected it today, if you think he's safe as ours is, whether you want him gone at all, or whether you're still happy to move forward with Farke. Be really interesting to see what you say. So, Ernie Ferguson, still don't think he will be fired. Here he says around Christmas. By then, so far, but no manager will touch it. Yeah, I don't see him being safe till Christmas. I really don't. I really don't think that's too long. I can't see that happening. I really can't. I expected a ruthless 49ers today, and again they've let us down, like I say. But I would like to think Christmas is a little bit. I mean, if he's here till Christmas, maybe that means he's done something right. Maybe we've beat Man City on Saturday. I doubt it, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. Can we get some points in these next 3 games? I want to try and be positive. Chelsea on a Wednesday night, Ellen Road under lights, Liverpool out of form. I just think with Farke, I just don't see us getting no out of these games. I really do put it down to Farke as well in terms of his in-game management, his subs, his lineup. I just don't think he'll get it right. And I think I've always said this season, all the footballing decisions have to be spot on for us to stand any chance this season, because the golfing quality is so much. We've got a manager who at this level is inept for me to push up the league and be competitive enough to stay in the division. So I think every single footballing decision, as in the recruitment in the summer, everything had to be a 10 out of 10. And we're way short of that. Way short of that. How the 49ers blind says fishy pie. Yeah, something's not right, is it? Actually, hey up, mate. If he was going to go, he would have gone by now. He would have gone straight after the Villa game. Like Bielsa, Marsh. Yeah, and Grassy was out there. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I sort of looked at it and thought, not what happened Sunday night, not what happened Monday, for it then to randomly spike yesterday. Late on in there, thinking that's a bit weird. That's surely there's some truth to it. And obviously it's still there now. The rumours have been sort of not put to bed, but it's just been very quiet today. I've heard from a reliable source that, he's holding on by his fingertips, but last night was a load of BS. And then I've spoken to others and said there was stuff definitely happening last night, but I've heard last night were BS. There were never no chance from getting sacked last night. which is, I don't like saying sacked either. It sounds so harsh, doesn't it? You know, give us 2 great years in Championship and it feels harsh. I've been very negative about Farke this last 2 weeks, as you'll know on this channel. You know, I'm a positive guy and I want Leeds to do well, and I won't be one of these fans that want us to lose at weekend and lose heavily. I think we will, but I don't want us to just so Farke loses his job. I'm not one of them. If you are, let me know. But it's just the reality of the situation. I'm proper down about Leeds United because guess what? What I'm seeing with my eyes is it's been a load of shite recently, and I can't bottle that up. I can't pretend everything's okay to make myself feel better, make you guys feel better. You know, we're all, you know, intelligent human beings. I'd like to think enough where we can watch a side and realise it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and some people are still out there, you know, thinking it is and thinking we'll be okay. And honestly, whatever you're having, you know, on your cornflakes, give me a bit of that optimism because I just don't see it. I do think it's a very small minority now. The minority going back maybe a month was the Farke outs. That was the minority. Now it's switched round, and anybody who still wants Farke in appears to be the minority. Yeah, Johnny, false alarm. Business as usual. Hey up, Graham. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hey up, guys. Hey up, Dave. Johnny the Frog. A very good evening to you. Nige, evening, Matty. How was that there, London today? Yeah, I would all drive to London and back today. We've only had about 2 hours work to do, so it wasn't too bad. I was there about just over 2 hours back in car, but yeah, about 9 hours worth of driving, Nige. But I got there in the end. Not quite. Evening, Ina. Hope you're well, mate. Hey up, Angela. Hey up, how you doing? They'll never sack him till summer. They will. It's coming. He won't make it till summer. He really, really won't. I promise he won't. Hey up, Ian. All right, Matty, Farke never leave. He will eventually. Hey up, Darren. Hope you're well. Eddie, hope you're good. Looking forward to Saturday with some trepidation. Oh, man, I'm really not looking forward to it. All right, Matty, where I was bridging the gap. I was in London today, mate. So last night I wanted an early night. I had to set off early doors this morning, pal, and Wayne's working away as well. But evening, Matty, mate. We'll try not to stress about the Farke situation until it's more of it. Do you know what it is, Brett? I'm not even massively stressed about it. I hate my football team struggling, right? And obviously I've got to put content out there. I enjoy doing content. I enjoy talking about Leeds United. It's all what's on my mind, to be fair, all the time. I won't say I'm massively stressed about it. There's a lot worse things going on in the world than football, you know, but it's my biggest passion outside my family. So, you know, I'm going to talk about Leeds, and unfortunately at the minute, the only real talking point is Farke. You know, it's the biggest talking point. And for me, they need to get rid and bring, I mean, honestly, people, I'd love to know actually what people think about Brendan Rodgers, but I'd take Brendan Rodgers now with Farke for one reason. I think Farke takes us down. I think Brendan Rodgers gives us a better chance of staying up. There's other people on the list: Bo Svensson, Marco Rose. There's quite a few on the list. If any of them are even the ones we're looking at, I don't know. But I've seen a lot of people throwing shade on Brendan Rodgers' name, and like I say, he wouldn't be my number one choice. He's a bookie's favourite now. But I tell you what, do I think Brendan Rodgers is a better Premier League manager than Daniel Farke? Of course I do. I don't see how anyone can disagree with that. I think as a Premier League manager, Brendan Rodgers is better than Farke. Whenever you're bringing a player in, a manager in, whatever the situation, I think you've always got to upgrade on what you had. And I would say that's an upgrade on Farke. Is it the manager you want? You know, maybe not. And there's a lot more managers out there who I don't even know who'd be a better fit, I'm sure. But you know, a lot of people throwing shade at him. But for me, I just want to see something different. He'll be doing his normal press conference. Don't panic. He'll be a take on Scum as well. Hey up, Llewellyn, how you doing, mate? Hey, Matty, frustrating. We have to continue to wait for the inevitable. Need to rip the band-aid off. 100%, best way of putting it. We really do need to rip the band-aid off. You're just kicking can down the road, you know. You're just kicking can further down, and eventually he's going to get sacked. At what point? You know, how we going to be? You can't just keep writing off games. Like people are saying, these games are tough. You can't give a new manager these games. I understand where you're coming from. You know, you don't want to lose that new manager bounce. But just maybe, we'd have had a chance of getting sort of like, say, a freak result. But, you know, a result against the City away, a result against Chelsea and Liverpool. I just don't think we can with Farke. But I don't think it's impossible with the players we've got, with the right game plan. But let's be fair, the game plan will be a 4-3-3. Aronson on right, and it's just going to be the same. It's just going to be the same. The subs on 70th minute, drop off after half time, and if you do that against City, Chelsea, and Liverpool, I don't care what bad form Liverpool in. I don't care that Wednesday's under lights at Ellen Road at 8 o'clock, and that's a tough gig for Chelsea. I don't care about that. They've got better managers, better players. Villa had the same. These have got, a level on Villa, all three of them. We cannot continue with the same routine over and over again. And that's what's annoying me more than anything. I'd have much rather against Villa, Farke changed formation or started Dan James or did something different and got beat 3-0. I could have come away from stadium and says, yes, we got beat, but I saw Farke trying to change something. I saw Farke acknowledging the fact that what he's doing currently is wrong and he's trying to affect it in a positive way, and we got slapped up 3-0. I wouldn't have minded that. But the problem was he did exactly what we knew he'd fucking do. And guess what? We still lost the game of football. So not only did he not get a result, he also lost the respect of the few, probably that maybe even still give him a chance potentially. Because for me, for him to keep, just doing the same thing over and over again and not realising or not adjusting to the situation, it's just madness at this point. It's madness. It's delusional of him to think he can play the way he played in the Championship at this level with those players. The players we've got, he needs to play the best way, get the best game plan for that type of player. First half, nailed it. Second half, let's ease off. Just don't work. Just don't work. We've got away with it in Championship. We're not getting away with it anymore. And it's just ridiculous to see. You can't keep playing 45 minutes worth of football at this level and easing off and letting them get time the ball and turn and run. You can't keep getting outdone by, the bloke in the opposing dugout. Happens all the time at this level. We saw it against the better teams at Championship level. We saw Scott Parker out-announce him at times. We saw bloody Southampton, Russell Martin doing 3 times that first year. Shocking. I had us all going on Farke's in minutes sacking. Only Joe was tight-lipped. It had us all. Yeah, with Joe is though. Joe doesn't say anything until it's out there concrete from a reputable journal. That's fine. Some people do know stuff sometimes totally early on, so I just talk about what's out there. If there's a rumour, I'll come and talk about it. If it's on my mind, I'll talk about it, even if it's a load of shite, to be fair. But I got excited last night and I wanted to have a bit of a chat about it, so he was out last night because got no contract. Hey up, Rice, still up, you good buddy? Hey Matty, you got to go after City game and we need a reset under new leadership. Total tactical reset needed. 49ers under huge pressure to get this right. Yeah, I mean, the pressure. I mean, I'm feeling the pressure as a fan, but the pressure on them is immense. All the shareholders, all the people who've invested in the club. And right now, if I were an investor in this club, I'd be banging on their door saying, what are you doing? Like, what are you playing at? What are you doing to solve the situation that we're in? Because while ever we were maintaining or in front of a point per game, and that was the sort of vibe that we're going with, you couldn't really say, not even as a fan, we can have a moan but while ever they were on course for that point per game, even though we knew it was not an accurate way of looking at things because we played, a lot of the sides in the bottom half of the table with, 7 of the top 10 to come. So it really was a lopsided way of looking at it. But you couldn't really say anything until they dropped below that or until they dropped it bottom 3. And now we are, we've dropped below on both. So the pressure's massive, and it's more pressure on them than it is even us as fans. We'll still be there, rain or shine. These investors, the people, the 49ers will want to, extend the stadium and take us, beyond where we are currently. It's not going to happen in Championship. It's just not going to happen. On a plus, we might beat Liverpool. They got spanked tonight again. I keep hearing this, Dave. I keep hearing this, but can you remember what we're like, yeah, when you watch us play football? Remember what we're like. Don't care how poor Liverpool are. Don't care how bad their manager is. Man for man, they're better than us. Man for man. Liverpool, if Farke's still in charge, will spank us. I think the only game really I look at, I think Chelsea's possible just it's midweek, even though I've sort of like gone back on what I said earlier. Likelihood is we get beaten all 3 and we concede a hell of a lot of goals. You never know that lights at Ellen Road. You never know. Yeah, Chelsea, Liverpool. That's why I sort of advocate for a change now. Let someone come in for City. If it goes wrong, who cares? We move on to the 2 games next week, and with a new manager where the opposition can't name the starting lineup, can't name the tactics, the formation. Guess what? With Farke in charge, they can. With Farke in charge, they know exactly what side they're going to play. They know exactly how Leeds are going to play, and it's just so shit. Because if we can see it, they can see it. With all the drama, hoping the boys go into the trenches and put a great fighting performance on that. Yeah, I mean, formation just wants to be 11. 11, just sat there. Yeah, I mean, the 45 minutes against Villa, they had plenty of fight and endeavour. And I love that first 45 minutes. Can they do that against City? Probably not. Can they do that for 90 minutes? Definitely not. We've not seen it at all really under Farke, even when we were, playing well in Championship. We never really saw, apart from those last few games, Stoke and Bristol towards the end of the season, we never really saw a full 90-minute performance, or we would have literally put 6 and 7 past most sides in the Championship. We would have put 6 or 7 past most, and we eased off so many times, and it's just so frustrating. We can't do that. Not at this level. Dave, fans are never happy if he goes next. Manager could be. Yeah, Dave, he could be. But guess what, Dave? He might not be. Maybe he's better. You know what I mean, Dave? I get what you mean. Yeah, maybe he's worse, but maybe he's better. There's more. For me, it's more of a likelihood that he's better because, let's be fair, Farke's taking us down. So getting a new manager in, guess what? If he's not better, we go down anyway. But maybe he is better. We've got nothing to hang us hat on that Farke's any better than what we've seen him do at Norwich, what we've seen him do so far this season. He's got the worst percentage wins for what in the Premier League for anyone who's managed over 5 games in Premier League for Leeds United. His percentage wins is just shocking when you combine it with Norwich, which I don't like to do. You can sort of use that stick to beat him with if you want to push the negative on Farke, which I don't like, combining the Leeds and Norwich together because Norwich were an absolute shit show. But he's not hit at this level. He's not got the tactical nous for this level. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. He's one of the best probably ever in Championship. So he won it 3 times. Brilliant Championship manager. One of the best. I think statistically the best potentially. This level is not it. It's just not it. Just hope we don't get a bit. Tintin, I'm expecting an absolute hiding. And honestly, if you're new on this channel, you will see when things are good. I'm not just negative for sake of it. I'm really not. Like, I'm a positive fan, but I'm just realistic. And we're playing City. We're conceding 2 goals a game every game. Conceded 3 at Forest, 3 at Brighton. There's no way we're going to City and conceding less than 3. I think if we lose 3-0, that's a great performance by Leeds United. Do you know how gut-wrenching that is as a Leeds fan 12 games into the season? To be hoping and praying that we don't get beat by more than 3. That'll be a result, that right now. And I might be getting shit in comments further down, I don't know. But for me, if we lose 3-0 and we put in a good effort, that ain't damage limitations. That don't feel too bad right now. I'd probably take that now. That's awful. That's disgusting as a fan to say that. Fucking hate myself for saying that. But I'd take 3-0 now because I can see it being 6 or 7 where we're defending. Shocking. Absolutely shocking at the minute. Wow. It's mad that half, isn't it? It's mad. Even Sheffield United. Yeah. Even Sheffield Wednesday can beat Liverpool. Either they break the bank on a manager and can afford to spend in Jan, or they keep him and spend in Jan. The owners have put 2 clubs in a mess. That's what happens. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about break the bank. I mean, I suppose you'll have to pay Farke off, won't you? And then bring another manager in. But I think if they get someone out who's obviously not at a club, that'll probably be the preference. I don't think you'll get another manager in if there's no money in January for the new manager. I won't lie. So I would assume they'll have money for both. They'll have to find it. They're going to have to sell Ashley for me. They'll have to sell maybe a Pirro if he's not in plans. They're going to have to sell people to do it. Time to go, yeah. 30 likes. There's 146 people in here, which is nuts. Thanks so much for being here. If you're new, please bang a subscribe on. I'd really appreciate it. But please stick a like on video if you don't mind. 146 people and only 30 likes. If you don't mind, please bang us a like on. Thank you very much, guys and girls. We should have kept Bamford. I'm not going there, Arthur. Not for me, mate. Not for me, buddy. Angela, it really got to me, Matty, how Villa had subs straight into the second half, and yet again 70th minute for us. And you can see we were towing. Villa picked up. Yeah, and Angela, I know it'll pain you to say you like me. It'll really, really pain you to speak like this, and it's awful, isn't it? But what really got me, Angela, was the fact that they made a tactical sub, brought 2 new players on instantly. They get a goal from it, and guess where Farke is? Not even in dugout. A couple of minutes behind, run a play, still down in changing room, and he misses it. For me, your manager should be out there, like sort of acknowledging if there's a change made, like not saying he changed out because he doesn't, but a good manager for me would be there waiting, speaking to assistants. Have they changed or what have they changed? Or they've gone 2 up top. Wow, they've gone 2 up top. Right, Ethan, drop back in, or we've got to make a change. Probably just a tactical rather than a sub at that point, but do something to counteract the fact they've now got another body with Watkins. Let's say Callum Watkins, because I'm a rugby fan as well. Up there with Watkins. instantly the score for a couple of minutes from having that extra body up top, and Farke will nowhere to be seen. That's just poor management for me. Just blasé. So poor. You're in Premier League, best division in the world, and you just, fucking about, not even getting dug out for kick-off. What's all that about? What's all that? And maybe that happens every week, and maybe they don't score and it's not highlighted, but they scored from it. They scored from having that, extra body up top, and we had nothing to counteract it. We didn't change our tactics to fit theirs. And guess what? When he did get back, he dug out. He still didn't change it. He just carried on. 70th minute sub. There were people around me counting down. 10, 9, 8 as it approached the 70th minute. And guess what? 71 minutes, the subs start coming on. You could just see it happening towards the latter end of that first half. And as soon as I scored that goal in second half, on my vlog, I'm like, here we go. You could just see, you just feel momentum changing. It's awful. Yeah, he did. He got one, didn't he? Half, and he did. Hi all. Hey up, Christopher. Hope you're well, buddy. Rodgers looking not keen on Rodgers. He struggled at Leicester. Yeah, but he also won an FA Cup at Leicester. And what I will say is, if we're going to get a manager, it's probably going to be one that's out of work. Guess what? If you're out of work, you've been sacked at some point or left for some sort of issue. Not everyone's going to have an absolute clean slate when it comes to the CV. There's going to be maybe a relegation on there, a fallout, a run of bad form, or they're going to be in a job and a top job, just like the players who we want. Leeds United been towards the bottom end of the Premier League, can't attract the top players, can't attract the top managers. So you've got to take the rough with this move. So for me, you look at Brendan Rodgers and you go, he's won, I don't know, 3 or 4 titles in Scotland, and then we'll go, yeah, but it was Scotland, but he's still the pressure of being at Celtic. You've got to win it every year. So he's won the titles there. He's won an FA Cup. He finished, second with Liverpool, almost won title, and we know what happened there, the slip and all that. But you look at that, that's some credentials there. That's an improvement on Farke. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he struggled at Leicester, but of course, he struggles all over, Gaff. Arne Slot struggling at Liverpool. Liverpool fans want Arne Slot sacked now. Where's he going next? Swansea? No, he's still going to be a decent manager operating somewhere, and someone will go for Arne Slot. He's won Premier League. But people will throw shade on Arne Slot and go, yeah, but he was shit that second season at Liverpool. Yeah, but that doesn't define him. That don't mean he's going to be poor for the rest of his career. That don't mean he ain't got no to offer. You can't just take someone on the worst day. Do you know what I mean? That's how I look at that. Smash the likes, people. Yeah, 51 likes now. Thanks so much. Appreciate you getting them up for me. 128 in building. Thanks so much for this on a Wednesday night. Mad people. What are we doing? We just love wallowing in our struggles, don't we? We really do. Wallowing in our struggles. I think Rodgers takes us down 2. Squad's not good enough. I've got no confidence in the 49ers to invest in January, says Clem. Yeah, that's it's a brutal way of looking at it. January's got to happen. January, Clem's got to happen. They've got to do something in January. I do think the team's good enough to compete and maybe even stay up if we had, touch wood, no injuries, with the right tactics and the right manager. For me, the manager just doesn't suit the players we've got. He thinks we can play possession-based football where we outplay the opposition, and that for me is just not going to happen with the players and the manager we've got. But yeah, January we need to invest. And there's a massive chance, Clem, whoever we have in charge takes us down. There's a massive chance. Right, so people are sleeping on how badly the 49ers have messed it up. Not just a squad. Evans, Underwood, no footballing men in senior roles. It's seriously worrying. I hope they get rid prior to the window. Yeah, they all need to go, don't they? They all need to go. The fact that Farke's the most senior footballing man at the club, there's no one really above him, really. Yeah, you've got Parag, but he's not there day to day. Farke, honestly, rules the roost there. He really does. He's got his feet under the table, firmly under the table. I know that for a fact. And he's an hard man to budge for that reason. He was in charge of help the role of progressing Underwood up the ladder as well to that DOF, and it just makes it a tough situation. Underwood should be in there going, right, let's have a chat. Farke, he's Farke's lad. He's Farke's boy. It's Farke's boy, he ain't going to want Farke to go because he'll have to go as well, potentially. But yeah, they all need to go for me. It needs a whole new structure in there. It needs someone to come in who's got Premier League experience. That's why I don't mind Rodgers, but again, there'll be people out there way better. But someone's going to come in and bring their own team in, and he just needs turning around now. Massive turnaround needed. Haven't the 49ers learned from Rodgers? Yeah, it just honestly, Dave, it feels very similar. League One behind the scenes. That's how it feels to me again. Again, we've done it again, back to back. Don't get me wrong, we've had a lot worse owners. I'm not going to hammer the 49ers too much in terms of we've had some horrendous owners. Chilino, Bates, we've had some awful ones, absolutely awful ones, but they've made some poor decisions this season when you consider what's riding on this. Ashley Mellier to start the next 3. Not for me, mate. But again, if Perry ends up being a poor signing, which at minute it's like that, if Beal ends up being a poor signing, if Bourne now don't see the pitch and James Justin don't see the pitch, I tell you what, that's half as 100 million down Swanee, innit? More than half as 100 million down Swanee. Such a poor window. And we had the cheek as fans to slate Sunderland for spending a few million more on players, or so we thought. We had the cheek as Leeds fans to say that. Mad. Mr. Eccles, keep Farke, it will work out. Based on what though, Mr. Eccles? Based on what? It's never worked out for him before. And look at the fixtures we've got now. I personally think we'll be cut adrift after these next 3 if he's still in charge. I think we'll be cut adrift anyway. But based on what? I mean, that's just, that's just being optimistic for me, for being optimistic's sake. And I love that. That's great. But I can't feel that. I can't feel that. I'm glad you do. I wish I did. And I've had times where I do. We can beat City, we can do this. But right now, I don't feel any of that, mate. I really don't. I don't think he deserves to keep his job either. He did. For me, he's had the games to justify what he's done the last 2 years. I did not want him sacked in summer. I wanted him sacked in this international window. The summer, I wouldn't have felt easy with him getting sacked. And some people in this chat will say that was the time to sack him in the summer. And I get that. And that would have been the ruthless edge you want to a really good, strong ownership model. We ain't got that. And it's shown now, But also Farke hasn't been ruthless in some of his decisions at times. Mellier, keeping Mellier too long in last season. For me, at times, that felt a sackable offence. It was doing my nuts in last season with certain stuff, but it worked out in the end last season. I just don't think it'll work out this time, Mr. Eccles. I really don't. Question will be loaded in press conference. The press conference is predictable, just like his management. Yeah, hopefully it'll be a little bit more. They'll push the buttons a little bit more with whatever did or didn't go on last night. I mean, I can't believe I'm actually going to sit and watch a press with him tomorrow. I would dead certainly gone me last night, this morning. Dead savvy for refreshing my phone all day. But yeah, I even said after Villa, I think we won't see him at Ellen Road again because I still think we'll get tonked at City. But the way I'm looking at it now, they probably know they're going to get tonked at City. The 49ers is probably still going to stay in anyway. The turnaround from Saturday to Wednesday is not very big. So does he at least get to Liverpool? I think so now, which I honestly think the 49ers have wrote those 3 games off because I just don't see what he can do to get anything in those games. I think he's wrote them off. I really do. Watched your game, your Villa match on Sunday. No, Okafor looked very poor. He still needs to find. Yeah, John, he's been a beaming light in moments, and it's been only a few moments. He's got a couple of goals this season. In some games, he's looked. He is our best attacking player, I would say. Our most threatening, our most likely to do something. But yeah, Villa very poor. Last few weeks, very poor. Needs to find his form. What I will say about him is he's had a run of games now, which his injuries normally play a big part. The fact that he's match sharp and he's getting game time. I'm hoping he'll be able to play his way into some form. But I was more concerned about, the minutes played on the pitch. I wouldn't have much, to be fair, John. So I'm just glad he's playing, but he needs to up his levels. He really does. I mean, again, there's a few players in there that with a new manager may get a kick up the backside or may even get dropped. Like I thought Ampadu, maybe, last few weeks, he could have been pulled out. Okafor again, is he an argument to say he could maybe start? None want left just to freshen stuff up, just to give someone else a chance, see what we can do, mix it up a bit. A new manager would have brought that. A new manager would have walked into training and everyone was starting at 0. Hey up, Eddie. Aronson over James is like having a fridge full of Peroni but choosing a Carlin. Love that, mate. I love that. Only you could come up with something like that, Eddie. Yeah, again, he works hard for the team. So does Dan James. And that's something I don't like about Farke. He'll big someone up. And I think it's sort of dragging someone else down. He'll make out as if Aronson's the only one that works hard for the team who can play on that right-hand side. That's why he plays. But for me, that's doing a disservice to Dan James, who don't fucking stop. Nonto, who also don't stop. But they offer you so much more going forward. If he starts again, I mean, let's be fair. This isn't a preview for City. I'm going to do a preview for City, pre-record tomorrow, I think. But let's be fair. I'm telling you now what will happen at City, which this is probably the right team in the midfield. So we all want Tanaka to play instead of Stack. I think he'll play Gruev. And I don't mind that against City. Honestly, I think damage limitations. Let's just try and keep that score down. That right-hand side is going to start Aronson. But for me, City away, play Dan James. He gives you an out ball. Even if you have 8 players defending, and you have a DCL or a Metcher with a Dan James in and around him. You've got an outball. If they're, camped in our half, playing a high line, you've got the outball. Dan James might give you something to stretch him and get the ball out of our half. But I think he'll just go with Aronson again, which will just be frustrating because they're too good at it, and we'll just keep recycling the ball to him. And a lot of it will be through Aronson. Lanzarote White hate Farke football and lack of in-game management, resigned to relegation. Honestly, how awful is that? 12 games in, resigned to relegation. Leeds United. Remember that? Leeds United. But actually, Leeds fans, we sound like fucking Norwich fans, don't we? We sound like a yo-yo club. 12 games in, I feel the same. I feel the same. Like, how are we getting out of this if it just maintains the same? If everything stays the same, how are we getting out of it? I mean, everyone's, these 3 games and it's Brentford. Brentford in London. When do we ever win down south? And then Palace, who are 5th. Like, we're looking at them 2 games thinking, yeah, why? Why are we looking at them games? We couldn't beat Forest. We couldn't beat Villa. Couldn't beat Burnley. And we think we can go beat Palace, Brentford. Like, the next 5 are horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. No, it's not, mate. It's not. Surely, though, Leeds is worth a hell of a lot to the 49ers investors if they stay up in the the Championship. Surely they alone. Yeah, 100%. They need to stay in this division. They need to. They've got a stadium expansion. I don't think anybody in the boardroom even would have had in the wildest dreams Leeds getting relegated this season. I just don't think they'll have seen it. I think they're very delusional in what they think they need to do to stay in this division, and they've totally misjudged it. The fact they've said, we'll finish trying to aim for 16th this season, then 15th and 15th. What kind of model's that? Let's aim for 16th. Oh yeah, because that's a great game plan. Because if you just miss 16th, guess where you are? Probably relegated. So it's a ridiculous set of goals and objectives we set ourselves as a club for me. And honestly, it's the fans that have to front it up. Do you know what I mean? It's the fans that'll always be there. The fans have to front it up. Yeah, it's their money, but we'll be there forever. They won't, and it's just shit. Our ownerships and poor ownerships can ruin a club. I mean, that's a bit of an overreaction probably now, but like we've seen it, and I just don't want to go back there. I don't want to end up being back in Championship and struggling to get out of it because there's no, you've got no God-given right that you're going to get out of it at first time of asking. So it is a stressful situation, but right now, I feel resigned to it. I really do. You have to have the feeling with your team, and maybe we could get something against any team. Unfortunately, you don't get that feeling with Farke. That's it, mate. I want hope. For me, and the only bit of hope I'll get is a new manager. I think a new manager will bring hope because predictability is just killing us at the minute. Predictability is absolutely killing this team at the minute. He will play a 4-2-3 on Saturday, then go back to 4-3 on Wednesday. I don't know, Ashley. I don't see him going to a 4-2-3-1. I think he'll just do what he thinks. He'll just revert to type 4-3-3, what he plays every game this season. Really, I think he should play a 5 at back and get Biol, Strauch and Roden in defence. And like I said, damn his limitations. For me, I'd play a 5 at back with your 3 in midfield, and I'd just play Metcher or DCL up top, maybe both of them, or maybe Dan James and Metcher just up top end at field and just give us an out ball. But let's just have everybody else in our half. We need to play a low block and frustrate them. The only way we come out of that game with any sort of moral result or actual result is by frustrating City and taking them deep into the game at 0-0. If they get an early goal, it's curtains, isn't it? It's curtains at that point. You can't take breaks in the Premier League like Farke likes to do. There is no point trying to dominate stats if you're not winning games. Bang on, mate. Bang on. Yep, you're right there, Darth Brooks. Watch him win the next 3 games. I'm not even joking, Ashley. If he won the next 3 games, I'd probably still want him out. It sounds harsh. Obviously, results and performance. Well, results now really over performances could change my mind. If we did beat City and then get a result against the other 2, that could change. Obviously, I want my team to stay in the Premier League. This isn't a vendetta against Farke. He does a lot of things that annoy me. There's been a lot of issues and certain issues with players and stuff that's proper grinded my gears over the last few years. Pardon me, but it's not personal. I just want my team to be better, and I don't think Farke's a man. If a run of results shows that he is the man, then fair enough, we can have a conversation and I'll back him. But yeah, just right now, I don't see where it changes. Nick LUFC. Hi, Matt. Hey, buddy. In my opinion, there be a new man in charge by Chelsea game as long as it's not Gerrard. Yeah, I don't want Gerrard, do it. I mean, I said after Villa, I think he should have gone Villa, but I said he's more realistic. He'll get the City game out the way and we'll have someone in. I just think the problem is with that being Saturday, Wednesday, it's a very small margin. I think if you're going to give him City, you may as well give him to Liverpool. But then again, you're just ticking games off. You know, all of a sudden you're 15 games into the season then, you know, when you could have got rid of him after 10 or 11. It's all right to look at a bunch of games and go, we'll write them off because we're not going to win. But you can't do that. You know, if we wrote games off we didn't think we'd win, we're relegated already for me because we aren't going to win a lot of games this season. The fact that Farke thinks we only have to win 6 more games keeps us up. Honestly, I think that's mental. How does 18 more points keep us up? And I know he's saying we need to draw some games as well. But 18 plus the 11 we've got is 29. What we're saying, we've got to draw 11 more games. So we've got to win 6 and draw 11. That's 17 games we've got to not lose out of what? 20, 25 or something? It's mental. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Probably. Yeah, I reckon so. Has 49ers make a statement, mate? No, nothing, mate. Absolutely nothing. I've heard through someone who I've got a contact with that last night was a load of pony. There was nothing in last night at all. And I believe the source as well. So apparently last night was nothing. There was nothing sorted. There may have been a meeting, but he is holding on to his job by his fingernails. Does that mean City and then he's gone? Or does that mean they're looking and he will go after this next bunch of 3 games? Come to terms with it, we are average Premier League team with average players except Ronaldo and James. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think they're waiting for these 3 games before they get the man. They don't want new manager games. I get that. But do you not think there's a conversation to say a new manager could get something out of these games, or potentially they wouldn't have a clue what our side would be, what our formations and philosophy would be under a new manager. Did you see Sheffield United winning while they changed to a 4-2-4? Imagine that a manager has more than one formation. Imagine that's a thing out there, apparently. Hey up, Nige. It's just a matter of time before Farke leaves. Unfortunately, what state will we be left in? Sorry for Nige. Yeah, longer it drags on, the worse position we're in, the worse it looks for a new man coming in. I just do not want Farke here. I want him gone now, but could you imagine Farke having a January window? Not for me. 138 people watching. Honestly, thanks so much for your support. It's class. 72 likes. I'd love to get that over 100 if you don't mind. Just smash us a like on video, please. It does help me out. I really appreciate it, man. Honestly, so many people in tonight. Thank you. Ernie Ferguson, don't think they will have cash to do anything in Jan. 49ers screwed the pooch too hard in summer. Screwed the pooch. Think they got everything wrong. Now I see a stadium could be delayed another year over game day traffic. Never rains, but it pours, does it, buddy? Really don't. Hey up, Kershaw. We need some massive luck to get anything against City. I am thankful to Farke for what he has done, but there is no benefit to carry this on. Nah, I agree. There literally is no benefit at all of just carrying on the way we're going. You're kicking can down road. He's going to get sacked at some point. The new manager bounced. Do you really think the owners look at it like that? I mean, I'm just asking. Maybe they do. But for me, you've got to think you've got a chance in every game. The hope for me is gone. There's no hope there. There's no that magical feeling of thinking it's game day, Leeds can do something. That's not there right now for me. With another manager, it would be. I was so buzzing last night when I heard Rumours had gone, and it's awful because he's brought us some great moments. Studying Millennium Square with my boy, on my shoulders, watching bus go past, covered in pyro, horrible stuff. But just great memories that'll live with me forever. Me and my boy promotion day, Mint. He helped bring that. But that don't mean nothing now. It's a memory I'll always remember, and it won't tarnish my memory. But right now, he needs to go. He's not the guy. He's not this guy. It's not too much asking Leeds to string together two hours as professional multi-million. Yeah, it shouldn't be, should it? It shouldn't be. You should be able to play more than 45 minutes. But they look knackered. They need to pace themselves. They really need to pace themselves. That's just texting me. Turn the heating off. Yep. I actually think it'll be more than 3 or 4. No, not for me, mate. Not for me. The next manager might be no better, but I can't wait to find out. Yeah, it's a great way of putting it. I'm saying, yeah, maybe he's worse, but let's have a look. Let's have a look. Indian Joe 52 up pal. Pointless carrying on with Farke. The longer they leave it, the harder it will get. Of course it will, and the less attractive the job looks for somebody else. That's a big factor too. The less attractive the job looks, the more it goes on. It's ridiculous at this point. You think, San Francisco 49ers and all that, the in professional sport, they're at the top end of professional sport, and how they can't do a review and sit down and look at the data, look at the eye test, look at the data, look what we're in, look at the situation, look at the sides that we are hoping to be better than. We may finish above Wolves and Burnley. We may do. I think we'll be below Burnley in the next 3 or 4 games, but we probably could finish above Burnley. I would bank on us finishing above Wolves. Who else are finishing above? Speaking to Joe the other day, and he's hoping we can pull Fulham in. Fulham are 3 points in front of us currently, but they've got, I think, Tottenham, maybe City. They've got a couple of hard games coming up, so it's hoping that if we do lose a few, they'll stay in touching distance. But like Fulham, are we gonna jump Fulham? Are Fulham gonna get relegated? So at least stay up. Are West Ham or Forest? Nah, not for me. Not for me, they're not. Evening, my boy. How you doing, mate? I don't even know what that means, me. Theo keeps saying all the time. Yeah, it's going to be. He was born in Leeds, you know that, John Parr. He's a Leeds lad. He was born at the same hospital as me. I don't know if you know that. Born at LJ in Leeds. Hi, mate. Hey up, Dilly. Hope you well. Hope be good, mate. City were poor last night, so we're in trouble. Yeah, thing is with these teams, it doesn't matter, right? If this is what I mean about Liverpool. Actually, it doesn't even matter if they're in poor form. It doesn't matter because man for man, they're better than us. I mean, Mo Salah, he hasn't set world like his season. He's going to be against Goodmanson. Goodmanson's had a great season, but he's always struggled. Even this season, he's struggled in any game. We've had a direct, pacey winger running at him. Look at Minter against Brighton. Look at the young lad against Arsenal. He's had a fair few. He's going to be outmarking Mo Salah. Don't care how bad Liverpool have been. If we are 100% on our game, like 10 out of 10 for close to 90 minutes, maybe the full 96 minutes, otherwise we'll get found out. We will be knackered against Liverpool for me. We really will. Hey up, Rich Bedford, how you doing? The only weekend by in January is if we sell. But yeah, I agree with that. I go along with that notion too. But there's a fair few players not getting minutes, Rich. So maybe we've got to look there. You are spot on what I am expecting it. Honestly, my prediction for City probably is 6-0 at minute. That's fucking awful. I've never predicted a loss since I've had this channel. 13 months, and to caveat that, Championship were obviously all last season. I started I think Coventry game at home, my first preview, so maybe 3 or 4 games into the season when I started, and I've never predicted a loss. I predicted a loss against Villa. I said we'd lose 2-0, and I'm predicting a loss at City. And I tell you what, imagine if we won. Imagine the pure elation if we could get something, even a draw. It'd feel like we'd climb Mount Everest if we get a draw at City. But yeah, I think it could be 6. I think Haaland, if he's on form, could honestly just get an full. No Haaland or Doku. Are you saying that's for weekend or what? Troy Paddock would be a good signing for me, but again, different sort of profile to what we usually play so far this season, but I'd have him. Phil will in. Farke will be gone by New Year. He won't change subs onto the second. No change in tactics. Yeah, he's just got no in game, mate. He's got nothing in game. It's so frustrating in stands, we know fans are seeing make a sub. It's embarrassing. How the hell is Dull Farke still at Leeds? What the fuck? I'm like, yeah, I'm glad to know I'm not just on my own. Glad to know I'm not on my own. Nigel, you said this in group chat earlier, didn't you? Just another day in the soap opera that is LUFC. Yeah, man. The sub should have been made before the kick off again when they equalise. That's what done us, because counter-attacking would put Villa on the back. But yeah, actually, bang on. Farke one tactic board, Bielsa 500 boards. Yep. Hey up, buddy. How you doing? Hey up, brother. Stop waffling. What are we gaining by keeping Farke for another 2-3 games? We're not going to win any of the next games, so the 49ers need to start looking surely. Yeah, of course they have, mate. Aston Villa game history. Now we move on. Yeah, we move on to a very tricky game, mate. Very tricky game. West Ham and Fulham will strengthen immensely in January, so the 49ers buckle up for an ambitious summer. Yeah, everybody in and around us is gonna strengthen. We're the only club I have serious doubts on whether we're gonna, and we need the most. We need the most in January. Just to add a new manager, we'll need more players, but it's Farke's lack of tactics, proactive subs, and the loss of the fan base. The atmosphere was dead against Philly. Yeah, I mean, first half I thought we were okay, Kershaw, but then as the first half went on, it got nervy, and then second half. I mean, it was a weird one, right? Because at full time, I did it as well. I sat there in my seat. I remember I did it at Wembley. I sat there at Wembley as well. But last Leeds fan in Wembley. I watched Sunderland, Southampton, so I do the full celebration. I was literally last Leeds fan in Wembley, and I was somewhat like that at Ellen Road at weekend. I sat in my seat, and I'm just looking, and I just felt numb. Just felt like we'd been relegated, but weird. I just felt numb, and I looked round. There were loads of people doing the same. Just sat there staring, not clapping, not talking, just sort of mulling over the misery that they feel right now for the football club, and very subdued, no anger, just sat there, just sort of pondering and dwelling in their own thoughts of misery. And I were one of them. It were like it's like as a fan base, we've sort of just accepted now that this is our lot because it looks like the 49ers have accepted it. It's mad. It's mad. That's how I sort of look at it. I mentioned to Jared about Farke not being in the dugout. He said it didn't make much difference because Farke had his assistant. Yeah, he said that to me on outside Ellen Road show we did the other day as well. But again, it didn't look like anything had been, whether it had been communicated or not, it didn't look like they did anything, put any measures in place to stop that happening because it was so easy for them to get in behind our left-hand side and get a ball across. And again, how many times does someone get down our left-hand side, cut a ball across and end up putting in the net? But don't get me wrong, it was a great finish, absolute great finish. But again, just it's poor, and you can't blame it all on Farke. Players need to take some accountability. Players need to realise what they're up against. Cut these spaces out like they were doing in first half. There was no space at all for Villa to sort of getting any chance of even getting a shot away, let alone scoring. We were so good in that first half, pressing up tight, letting them know we were there in the backs, closing out little half spaces down. And then second half, it was just space galore. They were just all over shop. Like I say, a slight tweak of formation, a slight, personnel change or two for Villa, and our game plan is gone. It's like Farke works on a game plan all week or the 2 weeks. This is how they'll play. That's great. But then as soon as they switch it up and go against the grain, we ain't got a clue. We ain't got a clue how to fix it. We ain't got a clue. Or he ain't got a clue. Yeah, he got an FA Cup, didn't he? So they were struggling, but he got an FA Cup, which into his sniffed at. Come on, them guys. Get them likes up to 100. Ding that. Don't cost nothing. Cheers, buddy. Appreciate that, Mark. Yeah, 148 on 91. Yeah, please smash a like if you haven't done already. I appreciate it. And please subscribe if you're new here. Thank you. Eddie says, I certainly would not want Rodgers as our manager. If our manager went to Celtic, he would be. Yeah, if Farke went to Celtic, he probably would be. Would Farke have won an FA Cup at Leicester? I'd probably say not. I would definitely say not. What I'll say is Rodgers an upgrade on Farke? I think you've got to say he is. Is he enough to stay up? Probably not. Depends what we're doing in summer. But Rodgers is better than Farke. I'd have more confidence in Rodgers keeping us up than Farke. Knutson would be unbelievable, John. Unbelievable. It'd be like winning Christmas. Like Christmas come early, should I say. Villa didn't change their tactics. They brought on attacking players in the second half, just like most of the clubs we played, because they all know Farke sits back in the second half. Yeah, they changed formation, brought a second man up top, mate, and we didn't know how to played on the front foot, played with a bit more tempo, and we couldn't keep up with them. I think Gruev will play because it's a defensive player against City. So I think Gruev, Tanaka probably should play, but against City, does it matter? Are we going to have many chances in their final third? I don't think we will. I wanted Marco Rose-Eddie a while back, but that ship seems to have sailed. He's falling right down the rankings now on the betting slips. Have to bring Mandy Dingle on here after she's finished in the jungle. But I'm going to reach out to her. We'll see. She'll have a lot more to do before coming on here, I'm sure, but you never know. Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. Yep. He has, Lee. He really has. Hey up, Russ. Hope you're well, buddy. If Farke goes and we don't have a plan in place in terms of a new manager, give Scott Gardner and his coaching team a go. I mean, he's doing great with youth, mate. I get all that, but he's Premier League level, Russ. Premier League level, mate. Nah, not for me, buddy, personally. But yeah, he's doing great with younguns, but yeah, not for me. You know a lot more than I do, mate, with under 21s and stuff. But yeah, 1-3-0 tonight against Gateshead. I know, and maybe he'll get him playing for Badge and all that. But for me, it's Premier League, innit? Nah, we saw it with Scabala, and he just can't go there for Premier League for me. Every time I see and hear Farke, and now it winds me right up. His voice goes through me. It's got personal with you, Ham Life, on it. Football, it's just got personal with you. When he says you're emotional, you're fuming. When he says you don't like Ham on his sign, he gets you proper emotional. Too slow to respond across the board. Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's not proactive, he's reactive. He's just a reactive manager. He only adapts once something's happened. So reactive. So reactive. Lucky we didn't get Brentford manager now, seems to have gone backwards. Still doing better than us, though. Can't watch the presser tomorrow, just be the PR bullshit. Yeah, it will be. It will be. I'd like to think there's a few more questions thrown in there, but you're starting on to ahead of Okafor. I wouldn't as of yet. I don't think Okafor's been that bad. I think it's just been a struggle to score goals at the minute. I still think he's our most attacking threat, is most likely to score. I mean, he has got 2 goals this season as well, but he hasn't been doing it the last couple of weeks. But I'd give him a little bit longer. But yeah, Nonto's chomping at bit. He come on and did all right, I thought. I mean, he wasn't brilliant, but he wanted to get on the ball. He was trying to make something happening. He was cutting inside on his right foot. He looked lively. Dan James looked brilliant when he came on. You've got to be looking at maybe freshening some up with some of these players who are chomping a bit now. Farke's like an old dog trying to learn new tricks. He's stubborn, has favourites, and has OCD where we can. Yeah, I actually agree with that. You know, massively agree with it. I think that's why he don't go against the way he normally goes, because I actually think he gets anxiety from the thought of changing, and I'm like that in life, to be fair. So I probably don't. That's probably why I'm not. And many more reasons. Don't get me wrong. Why I aren't manager of Leeds United, but yeah, 100%. He has his favourites. He's stubborn in his tactics, which I think all managers will have the favourite players. They will be stubborn to a degree in how they want to play. And Farke definitely. I mean, I remember that game away at Arsenal on it early in the season, even Brighton. It was like, no matter what you say, I'm playing my way that I want my team to play football. And it's like an ego of, I can coach my team to outplay you. And it's like everybody in the world knows that that's going to end badly, because you can't outplay players that are way above our level. And that's how I saw some of these games we played in, you know, the Brightons and the Arsenal especially. Like, that's where we should have been playing, like the first half against Villa. Get into them, let them know they're in a, frustrate, let them know they're in a dogfight. Go after every 50-50, try and win second balls. Don't give them a minute on the ball of time to be able to take a touch, turn and look for the pass and drive it as defence, because that's when we're weak. That's when we're going to struggle. We've seen that when the team with better quality gets on the half turn and can run it as defence, we're knackered. While ever we're pressing up against them and letting them know we're there and putting pressure on them and closing them down, hounding them, we are tough to beat. Problem is, I don't know if it's a fitness thing. I don't know if it's just a tactical thing, but we do not do that for 90 minutes. If we'd have duplicated that first half in the second half, we would have got a result against Villa. We would have either won or got a draw at least. We couldn't do it for 90 minutes. We can't sustain that. Kershaw, I still believe on our day we can get something from the next 2 home games. I don't think we can afford to write them off. Just like Farke. Yeah, I agree with bottom bit, mate. I don't think we can just write him off. I feel like by keeping Farke, though, we are writing him off, because I think under Farke, the likelihood of getting anything comes way down. What I'll say is I do agree, though. I'm going to say now, as a bold prediction, if Farke's in charge for these 3, Kershaw, we get nothing. We lose all 3, right? But I do agree, if Chelsea are a little bit off it and we can match the same first half performance at Villa for longer than one half, we can get something against Chelsea. Then you go into Liverpool with a whole new perspective, don't you? Maybe you can. But obviously, it's got to start really against Chelsea, because he ain't going to come away at say, we know that. But yeah, I do agree that it's not out of the realms of possibility for Chelsea and Liverpool for us to get a result. I just think with Farke in charge, it just brings it way down the actual likelihood of that happening. But you know me, I'll be going to games, Kershaw. I'll see you in Peacock as well if you're there, buddy. But I'll be going to games and I'll have a level of optimism when I'm there. But genuinely, we're going to have to be bang on it, absolutely bang on it if he's still in charge of us, because he isn't going. For me, he isn't going to help the team from the bench. So whatever team he puts out there, he's picked that team. It's up to the lads then to make something happen, because there's no help coming from the manager once the game starts. There's no help coming from the manager at all. Hi, pal. Hope you're doing well. I hope passion for Leeds. Hope you're well, Callum. I'm good, mate. Hope you're good, brother. He will have convinced the 49ers that it's all their fault, and they believe him. He even believes he's self-deluded, yeah. I mean, it is interesting to see if he actually had a meeting yesterday, and if he did, why he's still here. Serious question for Farke fans. What is Farke accountable for? Any Farke fans want to answer that? I'm not a Farke fan. He has to go 3-5-2 v City, damage limitations. I think that, Nige. I do. Some players at Leeds are late. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been a few. There's been a few performances where it does come down to the actual player not tracking the runs, switching off at key moments. I mean, the amount of late goals we've conceded, switching off after half time, switching off after scoring at Forest. A lot of that comes down to players' mentality. You're really vulnerable when you score a goal. At Forest, we go concede 90 seconds later. Say 90 seconds after break, we've conceded late goals against Bournemouth and Fulham. It's just not good. It's not good enough, and that is on the players. There's some stuff that Farke doesn't have control of on the pitch. But for me, he doesn't help the lads out either enough from the dugout. For me, he just doesn't. Richard Hogan, sorry, Matty, but Liverpool are in a worse form than Leeds at the moment. I tell you what, mate, I'd rather be Liverpool right now. What are they, 11th, 12th, 13th? But I tell you what, they've got some bloody players, haven't they? They're not going to get relegated, Richard. So, yeah, they might be in a worse state than Leeds United. But pit them against our team, and I know who's going to win that game, mate. Leeds United, you haven't won for 6 weeks. Come on, we'll give you 3 points. Come on, mate. What are we on about here? It's not like we're in form and Liverpool are out of form and we go, right, actually, we've got a chance here. We're out of form too. We ain't ever been in form, really, when you look at his results this season. We haven't had a run of results, had a couple of draws and a win early doors. We haven't had a run of decent results, had a cluster of all-right performances. But yeah, Liverpool are in bad form. We're in bad form. But they're going to beat us. Likely. It's very likely they're going to beat us. If we had better strikers, we would have done 15 points. Yeah, maybe. Planet Leeds, hey up, Boss Nass. Let's get those likes up to 100 for our lad Matty. Come on, folks. I believe in you. 103 now, Boss Nass. Cheers, everyone. Thanks so much for getting likes. That's class, that. Thank you. Ham life. Bloody Gruev. Mate, if he's in the starting 11, we are. Oh, mate, I don't want Gruev to play, but Anton Stack cannot play the next two. We just saw, and I know it because he had a yellow card and all that yada. We just seen him sub Tanaka on, but best player on pitch for a period of time on the pitch. That includes Villa's players as well, yeah. And then he subbed him off. We're playing City away, and Gruev defensively. Some would argue maybe he's better than Tanaka defensively, in a role of just defending first and not thinking about going forward, which I think against City is probably going to be something we're going to be looking at. I 100% expect to see Gruev on that starting lineup, Ham life, for the next 2 games. Oh, sorry, for City away especially, and then whoever he keeps it. But Tanaka should play against Chelsea. Tanaka should play against City, but I don't think it's going to matter what we do with ball because I don't think we're going to have it. I'm expecting 25% of ball if we're lucky. So, yeah, I think Gruev starts. There's no Stack. There's no Anton Stack, Ham life. But, yeah. Bar was never set high enough. Accepting 17th gave no wiggle room. We need a couple like Sunderland and Fulham are getting something. Yeah, exactly. Evening, Robbo. How are you doing? If they weren't distracted with the shit at Rangers, he would have long gone. Maybe, I don't know. We have to stay up this season. If not, expansion will be cancelled. Fire sale in the summer, and we have to start all over again. Nige, I know all this, but did you have to put it in text form so I had to process it? You're doing it to me, mate. I'll have you on Saturday, lad. I won't really, you'll team me. Lee Robinson, the 49ers tried to run before they can walk. Upgrade Ellen Road should have been last. But yeah, to be fair, I've not thought of that. Establishment is more important. But they got, obviously they haven't built it yet. They haven't started. I heard they were laying some cables or putting a bit of duct work in or something. They may have done some minor stuff behind West End, I think. But a lot of time, energy, probably money, effort will have gone into the organising of getting that going. And it just seems a little bit ridiculous now, doesn't it? It seems ridiculous, pointless. Let's stay up. Let's establish yourself as a Premier League side, and maybe look mid-season next year at this expansion. If we look like we're going to stay up for that second season, because right now it seems laughable that we've even seen the plans, got excited about the plans. It just seems laughable because you just can't do it in Championship. It don't even know it's an 11-side game. Yeah, good. Jamie Lowe up, mate. From top to bottom, this club isn't good enough for the Premier League. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It doesn't mean we can't stay up though. That's what you've got to look at it, Jamie. It's probably not good enough as director of football is not Premier League level, League One level. There'll be League One director of football who's more experienced. League Two, more experienced than Underwood. The manager is a Championship manager for me, a really, really good one, but he's a Championship manager. Some of the players are Championship players. A lot of them, I think, are low-end Prem players. I do. I believe I believe there's a lot of players in there, Premier League players, but low-end, and that's what we are. So we're always going to struggle. But just because not good enough for Premier League doesn't mean we can't still stay up if we get it right in the dugout. For me, you need a manager that can make players better than what they are. That's what we're looking at now. We need someone who can come in and get another 10 or 15% out of these players than what Farke can. And collectively, as a whole, that may be enough. It may not be enough, but as it is now, it definitely won't be enough. Yeah, he doesn't have a player pool. January again. I don't think he can draw many players in. For me, if I'm a flair player, I like to get on ball and change the game. And Farke comes in for me or Leeds come in for me, I'm saying, nah, you're all right, thanks. I'm not getting mugged off. I ain't coming to you guys as a new player in January expecting to get game time. No chance. No chance. I like to beat a man. I like to be risky. I like to try and impact a game and come up with something. So I like to play the game as I say it. Nah, can't do that. I'm not coming to you guys then. So I see it. Seriously, why did any Leeds fan think Farke deserved a chance in the Prem after nearly blowing promotion last season? I did, Robbo. I think he deserved a chance. Guess why? Because I'm a frigging idiot. But yeah, I just live in that world where meritocracy. You do well at work, you should get promoted. He did well. He got promoted. He deserved a crack. I always knew we were going to be here, though. I really did. I always knew we'd be here. You just live in that hope, don't you, that you're going to have one of those Sunderland seasons, a Marcelo Bielsa for season. You're gonna just storm it because that momentum are doing so well and going up. You're going to be that for season. Just go smash it. We're just too predictable. We're just too predictable. Yeah, won it. Yeah, and Arsenal got it right. Yeah, they did. Okafor could be a good number 10 with Nonto and James. Our wideman, that's our only hope at the minute. I would love to see a 4-2-3-1, Ashley, yeah, with another player in that 10, whether it's a Tanaka, an Okafor, and Nonto. And I've been slated, every time I say that, I get slated by other creators. I've been slated in chats. Bloody hell, putting people out of position, putting a winger in 10. Who do you think you are? That don't work. Why? Because Farke said it don't work. Nonto can't play in 10. Okafor can't. Imagine Okafor or Nonto in 10 with other ones playing on wing. Immediately, you've got bodies round DCL or round Metcha. Immediately, you've got a couple of players, 2 or 3 players that will shoot from outside area. They will have a pop. Imagine, a ricochet, not a knockdown, and it's falling to an Okafor on edge of area. It's falling to a Nonto on edge of area. And you've got a Nonto or an Okafor and a James bombing down flanks, crossing it in. Come on. He just won't do it, though. But for some reason, Farke's made us all think, you can't play in 10 if you play on wing. That don't happen, that. Not good enough. Square pegs, round holes. Fuck off. If we win next 3, we'll be a false dawn. I tell you what, though, you take it, though, won't you? You take it. You take it, Roger. Chuffing hell, I'll take it, mate. What's Martin's message me here? You're never going to get to the end of this chat. Put a day's holiday in. Cheers, Mark. I'll have to start skipping at some point, pal. I'm way behind, aren't I? I'm just going to have to start skipping some guys, honestly. An hour and 3 minutes in. And I'm literally about 48 hours off getting to the bottom of these comments. The board and manager have set the bar so low. Yeah, they have. I'm just going to start skipping some guys, honestly. I'll be here all night. Nice, 26 games left, and we really need another 28 points to reach 40. Just can't see where those points are coming from. Yeah, you're right, mate. We've got to get just over a point per game to stand a chance, and we've just fallen below a point a game, and we've played some of the easier games this season. Top Banana, evening, my mate. Hope you're well. 138 still watching. Crazy, crazy people. Thanks so much. 108 likes. Thanks so much for that. Ooh, I've just had class and ode to Jam. Just had Mr. Whitesnakes just sent me his poem through for Late Night Leeds on Friday. I love that guy. Yeah, please smash me a like on the video, please. If you're one of the few that hasn't, I really appreciate it. Stupidity, Cats promotion, hey up. Stupidity, what idiot came up with a point per game to stay up? Leeds are in the worst team. Leeds are the worst team in the Prem because Burnley and Wolves will improve soon. I kind of think they will improve, yeah. I think they'll improve. I don't think Wolves will get out of bottom three. I think Burnley are doing well this season, to be fair, better than I expected. But I can see everybody around us, Cats promotion, strengthening. I literally can see everyone, everyone around us, the teams that were now just in front of us have made moves at manager. They've changed the manager. Some have done it more than once. I think Burnley will probably stick with Parker, who's doing an all right job, but they're probably going to be in and around there anyway and probably expect to be down there. But yeah, I think they'll improve. I think they'll buy people in January. I'm getting absolutely loads of messages through here. It's mad. Absolute mad. Like I'm popular or something. I've actually got friends. Wow. I'll get back to you all after. People sometimes forget win the 49ers that in the NFL team. It's a bunch of investors. No, yeah, I know Leeds United, mate. Yeah. A lot of people do think it's the same people that are. Yeah, it's a bunch of investors. 49ers enterprise. I'd like to know the 49ers plans for a replacement manager, how they're going to attract one, how they're going to attract players in January. Amateurs. Well, what I'd say on that, Nige, is I think right now, the longer you leave it gets harder, but I think right now, Leeds United, it's an attractive proposition yourself. So let's just say Brendan Rodgers is a bookie's favourite. I'm not saying, we can't get better, of course we can. But he's a bookie's favourite. He's out of work. He's been in England before. Leeds United right now, only 12 games into the season. What a club it is to come to. You've still got 20, 24 games, 26 games left at the season. A tough run, yeah, 3 or 4 tough games if we were to replace him now and bring someone like Rodgers in now. But it's Leeds United. A ground where, he'll come as an opposition manager and probably looked at the stadium and thought, wow, what an atmosphere. It's a Premier League job. There's only 20 jobs available in the best league in the world, just 20 jobs. So unless you're an absolute no-hoper, which Leeds, for fans like us, we're emotional, as we're told we'll hear that tomorrow a few times. We think it's probably gone now. He ain't gonna think it's gone. A manager will come and think he can turn it around at Leeds United. So I think we are an attractive proposition. It'll come down to the chats they have at boardroom level, contract negotiations, speaking about money, the length of the contract, and also what money I've got in January. A bit burning question. And obviously we won't get to know that. We won't know that until it happens. But I think if we get a half-decent manager come in, it would tell me there's something for January, because I do think they'll want their own players in. They'll want to stamp their authority sort of on the squad in that short term, which January would definitely be short term, but it needs to be done. But I still think, you look at it like that, it's Premier League football. There's only 20 jobs in the best league in the world. I think we could easily get someone, about Big Sam in with 5 games to go. That was mental. 5 games to go and a new manager comes in. Big pay packet, whatever. But I think 12 games in, there's still a decent chance we can get out someone good. I really do. Goodmanson has had very little support from Okafor, and that's why he has been targeted. Yeah, I mean, he needs to work a little bit harder as Okafor. I don't think he's been like every game. I think there's been some games he's definitely not tracked back as much. But again, he's probably the only player that we allow a little bit of creative freedom to. Do you look at it and you think we play with 9 defenders, including goalkeeper. Okafor is the only one probably who's supposed to get in and around a striker. So I aren't that bothered. Like, you've got that many defensive players, Richard. I aren't going to hammer Okafor if he's not giving Goodmanson, enough. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't tell Okafor has got to now be a defender as well. I mean, you probably are right in that. And, when Dan James or Nonto plays, and obviously Aronson, they give Bogle a little bit more. But, yeah, I don't watch Okafor and think he's lazy, but he's probably not as good at tracking his man as other wingers are. But fuck me, someone's got to try and impact that, that final third. Somebody. There's enough players back there for me, you know, free in midfield to come over and help. And you've got Strout. Yeah, I can't hammer him for that. I really can't. But again, Okafor will probably start getting pelters now because he's that flair player who isn't scoring tons of goals, isn't creating much because of the way we play. It's like he's playing with handbrake on a little bit, and I think that's Farke again. But he's the only player really that I think's got even a little bit of creative freedom, and I would not want to take that away from him because if he isn't going to be able to create, where we're getting goals from, set pieces, is that it? Liam Moore, you know when you've got a toddler and you watch them do something so easy that they make so difficult and annoying. That's a 49ers investment group of toddlers with no clue about football. Yeah. Sunderland on the slide now, I'm not too sure. A 3-0 loss, I'll bet is like a victory. That's how I feel, Robbo, yeah. Marty Nolan, hey up, my Irish friend. How you doing? Evening, Marty. Looking forward to City game. Nope. I'm not going either. I'm actually in town with a few of the members of Imagine Not Being Leeds. Got a bit of a Christmas do on Saturday. So, a bit weird that, innit? Sounds a bit weird, but now loving it. Off out with, I think, about 8 or 9 of us. Something really good. We've got Mr. Sean Ely flying over from Ireland to come out for a few drinks. So I'm not a big drinker, but I'm a big dancer and a big idiot. But yeah, it's going to be good. So anyone out in town on Saturday night, give us a shout. It's going to be good. Nigel's out. Nigel out. It's scary, but Marsh had more points at this point. Oh, man, still went down. Scary, Nigel. Scary. Yeah, Clive. Maybe they're waiting on Thomas Frank. Honestly, if he become available, that's just nuts, isn't it? Just absolutely nuts. Fulham are struggling to score goals, but yeah, I know they are, Richard. But again, I just think look at the manager, look at the players. Yeah, I mean, if our only hope is to jump a Fulham, then it's just tough. Man for man, they've got better players again, haven't they? What decent boss will come if we lose next 3? Heavily need him going right. Depends on gap. Depends if there's a gap open. But again, I still think after 15 games, there'll still be a decent manager. I really do. Our next game's horrendous. City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Brentford, Palace, Sunderland, Liverpool, Scum, Newcastle. Right. Lost. We can't lose them all, Skippy. Surely not. We can't lose them all. Yeah, it's scary, that, Skippy. I'm going to click that off now, buddy. Thanks for that. Yeah, it's all about mindset. Right now, I feel so negative about the club that it seems highly unlikely we'll get anything in any of them games, but I do believe we aren't going to lose 9 games in a row. I've got to believe that. Like, I just can't see it. I think we can get something against Liverpool and Chelsea, but something has to change. I think so, Richard. I think so. Why get rid of Farke, says Tottia policing. Farke going at this point is stupid. Farke isn't in deep trouble. Nowhere, plenty of time. I disagree, mate. I disagree. Massively disagree with that. But you're entitled to your opinion, buddy. You get no hassle from me. But yeah, I disagree with that massively. How close is Byron? Probably nowhere near. And I love Byron, but yeah, nowhere near. If we're falling behind the pack, then yes, but there is no way he's going now. Farke is a top coach. He's not a top coach. He isn't a top coach at all. He's good with the best players in the division. He's never ever done well outside that. You know, whenever he's been at a club where he doesn't have the best players in that division, he's always struggled. So that's the facts. I don't look at him and think he's got any sort of decent coaching ability at this level. He hasn't for me. He hasn't. I don't know where that comes from, mate. I have to really, really disagree, pal. Really, really have to disagree with that. Treat players with respect and don't be vile like they did to Brendan. That again, though, that wasn't booing Brendan when he went off. That was that was an ironic cheer. It wasn't booing it. It wasn't cheering Brendan going off. It was an ironic cheer that he'd made a sub. You fucker in disguise. You fucker in disguise. You're definitely Farking then. Definitely Farking. Michael got, hey, mate, my fear is we get rid of Farke, someone else comes in and we still go down. Will you then be walking around the off-season with egg on our face. Okay, Daniel Farke may need to go, but our team is to blame too. Yeah, Farke has to go for me. The team is to blame. The 49ers to blame. Everybody's to blame, but you can't sack the players. You can't sack the board. So Farke's the only one you can sack, and that may have enough of an influence if you get the right man in to change the direction of our season. There is a massive likelihood we go down anyway. Wouldn't matter who our manager was. To Sunderland are staying up. If you'd have said before the season, 2 of the promoted sides would stay up, that's a long shot. That is a long shot when we've been told that none of us will stay up. So 2 of them will stay up, it's a long shot. For us to survive, that means 2 established Premier League sides have to go down. Wolves are already going down, that's one of them. Burnley will go down as one at newly promoted. For us to stay up, we have to relegate a second established Premier League side. It's difficult. I just think that the chances, the percentage-wise, goes up by getting anyone in other than Farke for me. I know, mate. I know. I'm only nobbling. Farke will be staying, and Leeds will stay up, and next year Farke will do even better. Wow. Goal difference is going to kill us all. Yeah, it will. Potentially. If we lose all 3, it's going to be potentially by some margin in it, which is worrying. Which is really worrying. Saturday will be a rude awakening for the fans. Why? You think we're going to win? I hope we do. Hoping Farke's gone very soon. Wandering soul. It's so sad, isn't it? So sad to feel like this. But yeah, Daniel needs to be braver. The Tanaka sub for me, that were another decision. He were on a yellow. He got told to get ready if he got another tackle. Trust your players. Bogle were on a yellow. Ampadu were on a yellow. Tanaka, best player on pitch. Keep him on pitch. Get the message out. One more and you're off. Stay on your feet. Don't dive in. Be brave. Be brave in and out of possession. Don't get sent off. I will be having words afterwards. Stay on your feet. See the game through. Manage the game. Trust your players more. Oh, I love that bit. Subs are too late. Even if you make subs at 55, 55, 65, just to break up the game. That's that. Yeah, I agree, mate. I think 70 minutes, by the time you're just getting into the game, it's full time, isn't it, Richard? It's full time. I think for me, the latest you should be making a sub is 65. That's the latest. And I'd like to have seen someone on before that. I think 55 to 60 minutes, by the time you get to half time, you've already seen that first half's gone. You then give it 10 minutes into the second half. I think by that point, you sort of know where the game's going. You know what you need to change and adapt to. So I think 10 minutes after half time, you need to be looking at making that first sub. So 55 to 60 is probably where your first sub or 2 should be coming on for me. And it gives them enough time, 10, 15 minutes to feel away into the game, and then 10, 15 minutes to go attack and try and make something happen. Is it the formations or personnel? It's got a bit of both. Again, a bit of both. I think when you look at some of the individual errors, I mean, you put Perry in goal, yeah, and we're like, right, Perry, and then he makes a few mistakes or doesn't look at it. You put Darlow in there, we're still conceding the same amount of goals. They put Strauch in, start conceding goals, then put Biol in, still conceding goals. So it's got to be the system. It's got to be, I think it's systematic. I think the formation, the tactics all leads into not being hard to beat anymore, not being hard to play against. We're really easy to play against and create chances on goal. But obviously, within that, these personal errors, these people switching off, these slips, these trips, these all sorts of what's going on, personnel and tactics. I think it's just a combination of both. Like when we say who's to blame, 49ers, players, manager, everyone's culpable to a degree. Everyone's culpable. But like I always say, you can't sack all the players, can you? You literally can't sack the squad. So I think the tactics and the way he sets up and the lack of in-game management is a bigger problem for me than the players. That's how I see it. If we'd have got Promise Davies and backward in summer, we wouldn't be in this way. I actually agree with that, Jonathan. I actually agree with that. Promise Davies, can he do it at this level? He's doing it in Belgium. Scored against the scummiest of scum yesterday at Beaton, which were class to see. Backwards at Forest. Is he injured? He hasn't been playing much, has he? But again, yeah, if we'd have got both of them, mate, we may have been a fair few points higher. I agree with that, Jonathan. We're still to boss the game for 90 plus minutes. Nige, we haven't done it under Farke for me. They probably have a couple of times, but Farke's all yeah, I've seen that earlier. Class. I still had Aronson up right today. Marker, why are we prolonging the inevitable with this guy? It's either going to be because the person we really want isn't available or we can't get him as of yet. So they just keep rolling Farke out. It is, they've got someone lined up, but they don't want to chuck him in at deep end for City away, maybe a couple of these hard games, which I don't agree with. Or they're just, maybe it's financial. Maybe it's financial, or maybe it's just they still think Farke can get them through it, which is just mental at this point. If you knew Farke would fail, why give him a chance? Because I'm an idiot, Robbo. Because I'm an idiot. I wanted Farke to have a crack at it, meritocracy and all that. It's just how I am. I'm a soft shite. I think he deserved a crack, but I also knew the chances were he wouldn't make it through the season. So really, in hindsight, you should have sacked him in summer. But I would always gonna advocate for giving him a go, mate. Just how I am. Maybe possible manager candidates will all that. Yeah, I mean, you'd think the people we're after, Neil, wouldn't be swimming in the same waters as you know, people who would go to Liverpool. But you never know. You never know. Gary Neville had already written off Leeds' chances, having seen them play Everton. And we played well against Everton as well, didn't we? The guy making a beeline to Farke in the dugout, was he a Farke out? He would have mecha bleeding subs, what he was. Friends. Mitchell Hogan, huge club, a huge fan base, Premier League job. And if you as a new manager can turn it around, then you will go down as a club era. Yeah, exactly. It's an exciting project still, Leeds. So it's not exciting for us as fans. We're looking at it thinking, fucking hell, we're knackered. But it's definitely exciting for others. 141 still watching at nearly 11:30 on a Wednesday night. We're mad as lot, aren't we? We just love it, don't we? We love the negativity. But yeah, we go get through it together, don't we? Please smash a like on the video. 115 likes. Thanks so much. Thank you so much for all that support. But yeah, if you haven't bang a like on video, please do so. It's free to do so. City lose, Chelsea draw, Liverpool draw, then lift off. Keep the faith. Big Sam give over. Peter, I aren't massively against that. You know, I could see Liverpool and Chelsea as getting something, but it just depends on how we turn it. Like I say, if we play close to our best for close to 90 minutes, then we've got a chance. But the likelihood is, Peter, we'll lose all three. Based on just the quality of the players, the likelihood is we'll lose all three. But it's not impossible for us to not do that. Yeah, well, in January they might have to, mate. Slot getting the push tonight. So many out-of-work managers to choose from soon. Yeah, true. We wanted Slot in first place, didn't we? Would you have Slot? I heard someone earlier say they wouldn't have Slot. Be mental to say you wouldn't have Slot. I'd have Slot. Just won Premier League last season. I still like Solomon on loan too in Jan. Yeah, I would. There's an argument, Jonathan. I was speaking to someone earlier. There's an argument that last season's squad is better than this season's squad. An argument. I'm not saying it is, but I don't think it's much better. If we get to Jan, only 2 or 3 points off a point per game, that might be okay. Yeah, I think so, Rob. I think if we can keep, touching distance, even if we didn't bottom 3 till January, as long as we know more than 1 win are getting out of it, yeah, and it would still be attractive for players to come. Then I think it's if you cut adrift, like, if you're 5, 6, 7 points, if it's January now, Wolves are going to struggle to attract anyone, because it's like you already cut adrift and you're gone, aren't you? But if we're still within a win of, our 2 or 3 sides above us, then there's still a massive possibility people will want to come. I agree. I think Jayden Bogle's done well this season, but I think he looks half the player that he is when Aronson's on his side. I really do. He spoke after the game, didn't he, Farke, about how Aronson gives so much to Bogle and defensively. I guarantee you now, if you ask Jayden Bogle who would rather play football with, I'm telling you that with Dan James and Donto. You saw when James come on that right side, Bogle came alive. Bogle all of a sudden such an attacking threat that we saw last season. With Aronson on that side, he's just a different player. And to say that Aronson offers more defensively, I'm telling you now, Bogle would prefer to play with Dan James every day a week. Roger Slicker, playing devil's advocate, It was down to fine margin Sunday. If Rodon jumps high on the wall, DCL whipped his. Yeah, 100%. If Strout scores at header at end, great save by Martinez. It is fine margins. But guess what? We lost the game, and Farke didn't change any of the things as a fan we're looking at him to change. So we lost the game because of it. If we win that game, then we can all go, it didn't change out, but it doesn't matter because he got the points. But when he doesn't change out and he's as stubborn as ever and he doesn't do the subs and all the things we want him to change, he doesn't do, and we don't win the game, it's just tarnishing what he's done at Leeds United, because it's just getting worse and worse this season. But yeah, 100%. If this, if that, but ultimately it didn't matter. We played well. We actually didn't deserve to lose, even over the 90 minutes. For me, we didn't deserve to lose the game. A draw would have been fair. 1-1. That goal don't going off. That free kick hits the wall and goes back out. It ends 1-1. Villa fans are going away saying fair result. That we didn't play that bad on Sunday. We didn't, but we still lost the game, and he still showed that stubborn, ruthless sort of ego that he's got, that he won't change no matter what the fans are saying. I mean, do we have to literally storm the pitch every game to get him to make a fucking sub? It's mad, isn't it? Okafor is a 10, let him roam. He's a player that needs a ball in between the defence and midfield, because he does have the flair, and we need strikers and wide men that needs to get shot field. Exactly. I would love to see, as I know people say we haven't got a 10, I would love to see us play a 4-2-3, when I think if a new manager came in, Ashley, he'd look at our front players and go, we've got some players here that could play in that 10. Because Brendan Aronson, we're led to believe by Farke, Brendan Aronson's the only player at Leeds United who can play in 10. I don't see that. I think that's a lot of bollocks. But because he's a manager, some people believe that's gospel. But the manager also says a lot of shite on press conferences that I don't agree with as well, He also didn't think Ramazani were good enough, but he thinks Aronson is. So I can't agree with people, with a man that goes along with some decisions he makes, who think it's okay to make a sub on 71 minutes when you get him, when you're not playing well. And you can see the tides turn. You're a professional manager. You played football. He was a striker when he played football. He was a striker. You'd think he was a centre half with how defensive he is at times. Bielsa made average players look good. Farke makes good players look average. Shows how poor and risk averse, yeah, he is, and can't do anything if he doesn't have the best team. Exactly. It's just so slow. So slow. Possession-based football, possession with no purpose, slow, mediocre football. Ernie probably needs 7 wins and 8 draws only. It leaves 9 losses. Going to be hard. Of course it does. When you add them up like that. Difficult, isn't it? Got to be trolling easy. Got to be. Solomon was our match winner last year. He won games on his own because of his ability. He was struggling this team because we're direct. We go direct stages. We try and pass the ball. Yeah, I agree. What I would say is Solomon, whether you think he'd work in this side or not, he'd have a go. I want to see Okafor do a bit more of that. I think Solomon, obviously at that level, you'd think Okafor in Championship would be better than Solomon potentially, or as good as. But I'd like to see Okafor have a similar sort of impact on that left-hand side of Solomon. I'd like to see him grab the game back, scruff at neck a bit more and do it more, because we've seen it in moments. He can be the off-the-cuff sort of match winner for us, but I don't think he's done it enough this season. But again, I'm just happy with Okafor that he's actually playing minutes at the minute and he's building up a decent run of games. But Solomon, I would have loved him to sign on loan this season. I would have loved it. I would have absolutely loved it. Yeah, it's bad, right? 12 games in, we don't know his best goalkeeper. We don't know his best centre-half partnership. We don't know his best midfield three. We don't know his best striker. That's shocking. And we haven't started as right winger really this season for bulk of it. Mad. Absolute madness, that. It's clear this is not all Farke, but he has made just too many tactical errors with formations, subs and lineups. That it's time to make a change. It's only a matter of time, so just do it now. Nail on head, that, mate. That's literally everything there, Duncan, in one paragraph, mate. Easy teasy. Also, after the first half of being dominant and physical, we were knackered after 60 minutes against Villa. One, we got to be fitter. 2, in-game management to avoid. Yeah, I think the hope is with a new manager, the in-game management will be better, because the players can't change. The personnel can't change. The players can be better and could change stuff in the game, but the players are going to be the same. 1 or 2 tweaks here and there. Different players maybe come in who have been on the bench. There may be a little bit more rotation because a new manager may prefer that. But for me, the in-game management is what I want a new manager for. Will the new manager have that? I don't know. We have to hope. But for me, the same team is getting played week in, week out, and you can't tell me that same team is perfect for every single side we play. It can't be. Can't be. Like, look at where Villa played. They didn't even play with wingers. You know, they played, what, a 4-3-3? Not too sure, 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1, I think it was. But they had McGinn were playing like the most to the right, and you had Buendia out on the left. They're not wingers, they're not going to take your fullback on. They're relying on the width from their fullbacks, and they couldn't get forward. But the way they set up, we don't naturally play against them. The most sides in Premier League, if they play 4-2-3-1, they have pacey wingers. You know, we've seen it at Brighton. See it most weeks. You have wingers who want to attack your fullbacks, and they were inverting. They were very central, and they couldn't get through us. You know, and we didn't allow their wing backs to get forward. But the way they lined up wasn't a normal sort of lineup we'd normally face. But guess what? We still played the same side, a 4-3-3 with Aronson at right. It was just the same, and the way they set up, and it worked. But then when they tweaked it and changed it, because we'd matched them, we didn't know how to combat that. But again, we just roll out the same 4-3-3 with the same message every game, when every single team's different. Every team. There's got to be a game by game, horses for courses. How many times do you hear people on here go horses for courses? When do we ever do that? When do we ever look at our team and go, yeah, I can't play that way this week because of this, this, and this, right? We'll change formation, or we'll change personnel. We'll do all this to counter their strengths and exploit their weaknesses. Come on. That rolled off tongue. I've heard that somewhere. Rich Sullivan, out, mate. Evening, Matty. 2 more games and Farke will be gone, in my opinion. Not sure who we get in. Need to back them with some cash in January to add to the squad to get us through. Yeah, fair bit as well. I think we need 2 or 3 players in January. But I do think we'll lose a couple as well to make way. Maybe a Pirro. If Nonto goes, you know, I'll be fuming, me. I'll be fuming. Farke out, says Dukey. Edwin, I hope we win on Saturday away, lads. I'm a Leeds fan, lads. Yes, all Leeds fans. All Leeds, are we? I think most of us fans, we're all guilty of giving Farke a crack at Premier League football in August for a 3rd bite. Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that. Yorkshire last. Who do you want to take Farke's job? Honestly, I wanted Marco Rose, and then I did a bit of digging on Bo Svensson. I wanted Bo Svensson. I would have Brendan Rodgers, no doubt. The ultimate dream would be Knutson. Honestly, I'd have Bielsa, and that sounds nuts. No. But I just don't think Farke keeps us up, and I don't want Farke as manager anymore. He's gone for me. So anybody at this point they bring in, I will back, and we'll have a look at it and speak about it. But I haven't massively got a burning passion for anyone in the, you know. Individually, I can't look at anyone and go, yeah, that's a person really. But Brendan Rodgers is the number 1 for bookies. Does that mean, maybe if he comes in, for me, everyone who we link to it, he's better than Farke. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, anybody right now, anybody. Sea fishing. Bogle has a habit of not passing to players he doesn't like. I hadn't noticed that. Do you not think does he not pass to Aronson? I've not noticed that. I can't lie. That's well funny. I love that. Bogle and Nonto better on the right together. Yeah, they link up and overlap. James, for me, goes further up and leaves Bogle adrift for defence. We saw in the pre-season give Nonto start and James as a sub. Yeah, I thought Nonto in pre-season with Bogle, you could see it. I think Bogle and Nonto. I think Bogle probably prefers playing with Nonto more than anyone. I think they've got a really good partnership. We have seen that at times. I think James, when he's on form, is the best right winger for us on. I do think him and Bogle work well together. Easy. I do, but I agree. They look a lot better than Nonto and Bogle for that reason. But I do think James and Bogle are also good, way better than what you get from Aronson and Bogle. But yeah, I think Bogle would prefer to play with Nonto. I think they complement each other really well. I really do. Dyche for once has gifted a half-decent team. Yeah, he has, to be fair. He's got a bad side. He's got some good players there. Edwin, I'm a Leeds fan, Matt. I hope we are winning away at Man City, Matt. I hope so. I think it's going to be Man City 1, Leeds. Oh, respond, bro. I will respond, Edwin. I hope to God you are right. I love the optimism, mate. I really do. If we win 3-1, I will be singing from the rafters. I love the optimism. I out there with you, Edwin. I'm really not, but please, God, let that be true. That'd be a good weekend, wouldn't it? Jaden, Emery changed the game when he brought subs on Farke way too reactive, not proactive, not tactical knowledge. Exactly. Surely he knows this as well. Surely he must feel out of his depth when he looks in dugout and sees Unai Emery, who's just a mastermind at this level. He must just be like, wow, I just out of this level. He can't say that, can he? He's just got to try his best, hasn't he? It's not his fault he's still in a job. He's just giving it a crack, innit? Yorkshire, do you think we have a better squad this season than last? I've one really missed Solomon and Ramazani. Solomon and Ramazani, you could argue if they were both here now, could be playing minutes under another manager. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Is Rothwell better than Longstaff and Stack? I'd probably say not. Yeah, I don't know. It's a toss up, and Solomon and Ramazani are the only two really that stand out from last season. But yeah, I'd love to have them in the squad. I'm gonna lie, I'd love to have both of them. 3-4-2-1, sort of 3-5-2/5-3-2 for attack and defence. We signed players that would work for like we did. Instead, we stick with a 4-3-3 with 3 defensive mids and a striker who's meant to hold up for no one. Yeah, we literally play with 9 defensive players and 2 attacking players, don't you? A striker in DCL or Metcha and maybe Okafor, the only ones really allowed to stay up top. I agree with that. I think we recruited for the formations you've said there. The 4-3-3, we liked the adaptation in pre-season, going from a 4-2-3-1. We liked what we saw in pre-season. We didn't lose pre-season game and we looked solid. It was brilliant. And the first month of season, bar Arsenal, we looked good again. And he stuck with it because it worked for a little bit. It's not working now, Daniel. Change it. But yeah, the 3-5-2, the 5-3-2, whichever way you want to look at it, we are recruited for that. Biol, Rodon, Stroud can play in back three, in a back three. Let them do it. Get another body in there. Let them do it. As fullbacks, as our wing backs, Bogle and Goodmanson are brilliant at getting up and down the field. Let them do it. We have a team that can play three at the back for me. And I think if you get a manager in who knows ball, we'll probably see that implemented at Ellen Road at least until January, because for me, that's probably our strongest side. Or it was for certain games. There's an argument if all those wingers are fit, you're leaving too many talented players out, and I can go along with that. But look at Burnley this season when we only had Okafor fit, and I think Aronson had only just come back from American duty. We had no Nonto, no Dan James, and you look at it thinking, let's play with 3 at the back and go with wing backs in this game. Leave Aronson on bench, maybe get Okafor up top, just feeding off of DCL at the time, because I think he'd be great there. Yeah, you are right with that. We know Farke is stubborn on a player instructions. Perry was well known for his long throws. He doesn't utilise that for fear of losing possession. Get YouTube up and check out Perry's throws. You're right. You bang on. His throws, for me, I was really excited in pre-season when we signed him, looking at corner comes in, Perry catches it, Dan James gets on your bike and just find Dan James. I haven't seen that once. I think we saw him once or twice early in season. His first few games, he did a few, but he hadn't been utilised well. We haven't been able to do it enough to get to a point where it works for us. But again, that should be an asset we use. You know, we see Ampadu with long throw now. We should be able to utilise that long throw of Perry. He's got more of an accurate long throw than he has a kick, to be fair. It's a great throw. It gets you down pitch. With Dan James's pace, that should be something we utilise. That should be a weapon in our arsenal, which we haven't seen used. You bang on with that. Edwin, I'm thinking about a win this Saturday, mate. I think it's going to be Man City 0, Leeds 3, bro. Come on, Leeds, march on together. So now you've changed your mind from 3-1 to 3-0 Leeds. It's getting better. I like it, Edwin. I like it a lot. Fuck out. Work in the morning. Got it off my chest. Have a good night. Great chat tonight, Maya. Cheers, Lanzarote Wise. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. I hope it's nice and warm where you are. I'm assuming it is. Have a good one, buddy. Jaden, the 49ers are not ambitious enough to keep for this club. Saw it on deadline day, and we're seeing it now. We've not sacking Farke. I reckon they've accepted relegation as stick movement and bring us back. I don't agree with the bottom bit, Jaden, because there's no way he can stay in the job now to the championship with a view of getting us back up, because it'll have gone too toxic by then. So I don't think you can do that at Leeds United. You can do that at Norwich. You can stay at Norwich, Farke, go down and bring them back up. I don't think at Leeds United you can do that. I think if Leeds United go down, there has to be a sacking. There has to be. There's no club has a divine right just based on your history and the size of your fan base to think you stay up. But I think it'd be mad to just stick with a manager that is clearly not at this level, with a view that he might get you back up next season, which isn't a given because he didn't get us up first time of asking. We've probably better players than we had the second time of asking. We lost Archie Gray, Somerville and Rutter, all Premier League players. And his argument, we get up that first season, they're still at Leeds United now, and we've got a better squad and we're pushing up the division. So that's a failing of not just Farke and everybody involved, but Farke too. So yeah, I don't think at Leeds United you can stay at Leeds in the job and bring us back up. I think you get sacked if you're down there. being knackered after 60 and not making changes until 70 plus is on Farke and his useless assistants. Agree. Bringing Simon Grayson. 60. I love that. How do my A up West Yorkshire retro game up? You well, mate. Gotta go, Matty. Thanks for the chat. Awesome, mate. For Ham Life, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. So obviously it's been massively, heavily negative. I try and bring balance where I can. I hope I come across balanced, and I am obviously advocating for a change. I don't like saying Farke in or Farke out, but I am like, yeah, let's move on from Farke and get someone else in now and have a really crack at it. But like I do see all sides of the argument. I do see everyone's sort of reasoning behind it, as long as it's not just blind faith. One thing I can't stand is blind faith. We'll do all right because we're Leeds, but that means no, because normally Leeds don't do well. Normally Leeds are very Leedsy and we don't do well. I'm saying, mate, there's just no way. There's just no way. Rodgers is garbage. Yeah, but Farke is. Soul Surfer for me. So I just think it's highly possible that he would be the man. His book is favourite. I'm not a gambling man. Does that mean anything? I would assume it does. Will any new manager that replaces Daniel with the players we have, will they keep us up? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Don't take my hope away, though. That's all I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a win Saturday where we could lose it again, playing not too bad. They have Haaland. Yeah, they do. Haaland's gonna be hard to stop. Stop Haaland scoring, we might have a chance, but then again, they've still got 10 other brilliant players. Donnarumma will probably get an hat-trick against us where it's going. Easy to our boardroom needs to be more ruthless. Look at Bournemouth, small club but big mentality. Gary O'Neill does well pre-season. He gets a boot for Iriola. Copy that Brian philosophy. Yeah, you look at it's mad, innit? Look how good O'Neill did with him. Yeah, sacked pre-season, go with Iriola, and now look at him. Yeah, small club, big mentality. I love that. It's a good way of looking at that, to be fair, mate. Big club, small mentality, aren't we, us? You have to be brain dead not to see. Hey up, Mark. Well, Marker. You have to be brain dead not to see how tactically inept Farke is. Saw the stat today. He's the worst Premier manager in history in points per game. Yeah, why would you want to stick with that? And like, again, I don't like clumbering his Leeds and Norwich stats together, but that isn't good reading. That ain't good reading. It really ain't. We just need a couple of Leeds players to grab the bull by its horns. Ungrateful, so sad, says Super Surfer. Yeah, I don't know what that means, mate. Man City lost yesterday's game in the Champions League. They did, Edwin. Yeah, they did. Big Mick. Bob Young. Hi, Matt. Sorry for being late. Hey, don't worry about it, Bob. Thanks for dropping in, man. You know I'm a fat fan. I do. Take a look at the fixtures for the teams around us. None of them keep it easy. Keep the faith. January signs coming. I know you're a fat fan, mate. I was a fat fan. I've been told I've always been Farke out, which is a load of rubbish. I was Farke in, pro Farke, whatever, until I wasn't. And after Forest, I definitely wasn't. And there were times last season where I was pulling my hair out and he was driving me insane. The man just does some crazy stuff at time. But yeah, what it is for me, Bob, is the teams around us can do what they want. We've lost 5 out of 6. It's relegation form. The manager's got no pedigree at this level. As negative as that may sound, you're Farking. I love the fact that you're backing him and, you think we can climb out of this rut with him without changing anything. The ideal scenario is we just start winning games with Farke and we don't have to bring a new manager in because, yeah, it could be worse. Who knows? But the likelihood is that keeping Farke, we're only going one way, and with somebody else, it may just ignite that spark and get us going again. But yeah, try and keep the faith, mate. You know me, I'll be there. I'll be singing for boys. I spend my money. I go week in, week out. Yeah, I love it, but I just can't. I just aren't there, mate. I'm just not there, unfortunately. Let's win on Saturday, and I might start feeling optimistic again with Farke, but it's just so tough. I think a few players that knocked on Parag's door for the reason of dropping Millier need to do the same again and get rid of Farke. Wow, it's mad. I'd love to know if that actually happened. I'd love to know. Graham thinks you should do that too. Matty, do you have this year's home and away kit, or do you have last year's home and away kit? I have last year's home kit and the yellow kit. So yeah, home and away. This season I just have the third. Oh no, I have the away and the third. Away and the third. Yeah. I have last year's signed. Mike Bassett. What do you have anyway, Edwin? Do you have the kits as well? Hi, pal. How you doing? I'm doing well, Mike. I'm doing well. Everything's going well apart from Leeds United. But we'll get there. I'll be fine. But no, thanks for dropping in, buddy. Appreciate it. Smash us a like if you don't mind. Anybody who hasn't. 130 likes, 122 people watching. That's class. That. How good's that? Buzzing. Thanks so much. It really helps, getting decent likes on these videos. It really pushes out to more people. So I really appreciate the support on doing that. But if there's any more, big greedy really, 124 watching now, 130 likes, more likes than people watching. But if you haven't pushed that, put a like on it. Please stick us a like on the video, man. Much appreciated. We need to keep Farke. He'll get us up next season. Make no mistake, we're going down. Lee, I can't go along with that, mate. It'll turn. We can't keep a manager on that basis for me. Norwich can. Burnley can. Burnley can keep Scott Parker, and then Scott Parker will promote him next season. Leeds can't do that. They just can't. They'll be too. Look how sort of it's turning now with fan base. People jumping over fucking side to get to Farke. Fans singing "Make a Sub." There's no way for me, Lee. Leeds United can keep the manager after 12 games. If we stay in that bottom three from 12, there's just no way. Scott Parker can. We never see Perry's long throw because we got to get forward by playing 5-yard passes. Yeah, side to side, back, slow, laboured. Yeah. And we get up there eventually if we do. Can you imagine Grayson in the Premier League? Come on, Super Leeds United, best team in Europe, mate. Hopefully one day, mate. Hopefully one day. Did I hear on TalkSport Leeds being accused of being overzealous in the tackle? Maybe, I don't know, mate. Maybe. Is that referring to Tanaka getting booked and etc.? Wilco White, say up, buddy. Great numbers tonight, Matty. Please smash a like, subscribe. Cheers, buddy. And please go check Wilco White's out as well. Get his name Googled in. Are you on Google? You've been sharing nudes again in YouTube. Put a video out this morning, sat in his car. He's going to start doing more content. Aren't you, Mr. Wilco Whites? One of my favourite content creators and YouTube besties. Start doing more videos, you bloody tool. I want to watch you. Matty, we can't have positive comments. As if you just said something nice, well, I end up calling you a tool. What am I doing? I didn't know what to say. Just a tool. You're not a tool. I love you. Matty, we can't have positive conversation yet, mate. We're in piss poor form and nothing's changing to give us anything positive. Yeah, it's awful doing this. It's awful. And you know what it is? I'm going to have to front up and talk about a hammering on Saturday. Going to have to front up and then probably talk about Chelsea and Liverpool struggle as well. But yeah, it's an hard time, innit? But all you can be is true to yourself and just speak your own mind. And I hope you like that about this channel. I hope you like that about me. And when it's good, and I'll sing it from rooftops. But when it's bad, I can't fucking lie. I've masked a lot in my life. I ain't masking my feelings on Leeds United. That's for sure. Mike, I cannot believe people back Farke to the hills last season when Ian Dowie has a better Premier League record. Fucking hell. That's brutal reading his name out. But yeah. Doku gonna run right. Yeah, Doku and Ireland, mate. Come on. Bamford scored. I did Clive Yards in it. Yorkshire lass, enjoyed listening in, Matt, on way home from work in Vancouver. Wow, I love that. It's class. Yorkshire lass in Vancouver. Go on. Thanks for keeping a cool head after the weekend. I'm Farke out. Just don't get the latest subs and stubbornness. Yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Like I say, cool head. It doesn't matter what anybody says in here, even in this chat. Whether you think I'm an absolute idiot, I'll politely just mute you, or I don't think I've ever banned anyone, to be honest. But if you come in here and disrespect, I'll have a chinwag with you. I don't want to hound or put anyone down it's all a frustrating time and some people lose their head. I'm quite cool about it. I lose my head in the ground. I'm quite animated. You'll see on my vlogs, but I'm just in a bit of a somber mood. It's just really sad, man. It's proper just sad. It's just note to look forward to in terms of as a Leeds fan at the minute, just more heartache to come. And yeah, I come on here and I front up and I just say what's on my mind. But I appreciate that. Always try and keep a cool head. Always try and involve the chat where I can, and we talk through it together. A bit of therapy. It is all negative at the minute. It's one-way traffic. It's all negative. And if you're a proper positive fan, the minute this isn't the channel for you because I aren't there. But when I am there, I'll say it and I'll let you know. And maybe that comes with Farke. It's highly likely it isn't. But hopefully it comes soon because this is an awful feeling, this Yorkshire lass. I bloody hate it. But yeah, late subs and stubbornness for me eventually cost him his job. But the longer it goes on, Farke's stubbornness and lack of in-game management might cost us our Premier League status, which is a bigger problem. Big Mick Roy Keane. Clive, I didn't realise how bad he was with Norwich until I checked it out when he came. It was, really bad. Really bad in Prem. In Prem, it was shocking. I think he went like 10. He got 10 losses in a row, I think, at Prem at one point. Fact sexuals. We lack pace centrally as well, which is killing us. Yeah, very true. Very true, Ashley. We've got pace down flanks. Centrally, not much at all. And I think whoever will start against City and even less pace. How can anyone with half a brain be Farking? What are they seeing? Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know. It is what it is, isn't it? Some people just like to live on that side of life where it's just, always happy, no matter what. And yeah, it's staring us in face, isn't it? It's staring us in face is relegation. It's just too early, but it is. Hey up, West Yorkshire Retro Gamer. You all laugh, but Grayson would go 4-4-2. He go line up Penny. Yeah, no, I mean, it'd be good with a 4-4-2. I can see that, but you can't be saying Grayson, man. He's, I say he's a bit of a dinosaur. He's been out of game a little while now, and he's been here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, just because did well at Leeds last time, mate, at League One level. He ain't it, mate, for me. I like the guy. He's a bit of a legend at club, but yeah. Would that do any? No, I mean, the lineup's sound, but I don't think Grayson's a Premier League manager. He's never had that job before, has he? But I did like Grayson. There's levels. When we got up, I was one that said, right now, the time to be is ruthless. Get rid and spend big on a big name manager. One that commands a presence and also attracts talent. Yeah, I mean, easy. I can't disagree with that. Bang on money. We should have done that in summer. Hindsight's a great thing for me personally. I can look back and go, we should have done. But yeah, I wanted him to have a crack. But I wanted him sacked by now. I thought, sack him at the international break. I'd have been happy. But yeah, you're right. Be ruthless. Sack him. The talent we went for and we missed out on, the Pajaus and the backwards, was Daniel Farke being our manager part of the reason we didn't get these players? I think so. John, I just want a manager willing to make changes and give us a chance. If we go down, it needs to be because we're shite, not because Farke's ego. Yeah, bang on, man. And I don't think we're shite, John. I don't think we're shite. I think we've got one of the worst squads, but I think we've seen in elements of games, in moments of games, that we're good enough. We need a manager to be able to harness that, improve that, and make it be for a longer sustained period in the game rather than just 45 minutes. And you do that by, better coaching generally, different tactics, different formations, the in-game management. How do we see this game out? How do we hold this lead? How do we get back in this game? What can I do now from the sideline to help those lads on that field? We ain't got that in Farke. What he plans all week, if it don't work on a Saturday, it don't work on a Saturday. There's no tweaking or changing. If we go down, no one with a brain will want to watch another year of fat ball. Even the Champo style is an eyesore at times. Yeah, I don't want him next season in Champo, even if we go down. People say he'll get us back up. I can't disagree with that, but I don't want him. I think loads of managers could get us back up. We would have one of the better squads in the division. But I wouldn't want him again. He could not stay now and get relegated and get us back up for me. That won't happen. Graham Stone, I got to go. That handsome filter's killing me off MOT. Sound, mate. Oh, I love that. Funny. Good guy. Have a good one, mate. I much prefer Scotty Parker to Farke. Ooh. Scott Parker's changed his football quite a bit since his Fulham Bournemouth days. I wish Farke would follow suit. Scott Parker's a better manager than I thought he was. Don't mind him at all. Wednesday's going to be a hell. Wednesday's going to be hell against Chelsea in that stadium. Chaos. I hope so. We need to bring the chaos factor. Damo Bielsa, hey up, mate. Met you in Ellerton Bywater Saturday. Fitting lights. Give us a shout out. Hey up, my mate. That was class. So Saturday, right? And it went to our Theos football, and then on the way home, kids wanted fish and chips. I went down to the bottom fish shop where I never go because one at Top's closed. Crossed over, parked up right, crossing over the road, and there's a bloke in. I don't know how to explain it, Damo. Like like a bucket on back of a BT van. Going up to start fitting the Allerton Christmas lights down road. Lovely. Love that we've got Christmas lights at the end of our street, all the way down through Allerton. It's class, to be fair. Someone's in a bucket fitting Christmas lights. Just, hey, up, Matty. Look up, hey up, mate. I watch you on YouTube. Class, mate. Think we're going to get battered on Sunday. Cheers, pal. Absolutely class. But yeah, that was you, Damo. That would a new one on me. See, I get now and again at Leeds games. I met a couple of times people. I mean, Leeds game on Sunday. I was sat next to a subscriber. I can't remember his name now. And there were a guy called Damien as well on way out as well who knew me. So it's class. It happens, every week now. There might be one or two that I speak to, watch, which is brilliant. Love the support. Not once have I had someone up, a lamppost in a bucket who I'm having a chat with about Leeds. So that would a new one on me, Damo. But there's your shout out, buddy. I hope I see you again soon, mate. Have a class that. But yeah, it made me day. Great chat tonight, Matty. Cheers, boss. Nas as always. I'll be back on. Check out Planet Leeds. He's got a live tomorrow night, I think. And then we're back for late night Leeds on Friday too, which will be good. If Hernandez joins as manager, he'll get Berardi's assistant. Oh, I'd love that. Later down the line, though, I'd love that. Apparently, Farke got paid an extra $1 million a year on promotion, so I can understand why they are talk of sacking him straight after promotion. Yeah, because let's be fair, we actually thought that might have happened. That we actually thought it was going to happen, but yeah. Wilco writes, haha, yes, more content to come. Question, if Rodgers was to come in as manager and we still got relegated, would you be confident that Rodgers brings us straight back up? It all depends on how long they're in charge. I just think at Leeds, mate, and I don't want to keep banging that drum, but I do think at Leeds, if you take the club down, I don't see how you have the belief to come back up. Yo-yo clubs can, like a Wilder can stay at Sheffield United and a Parker can stay at Burnley and a Farke can stay at Norwich and you can go down with an... I just don't think at Leeds it depends. If someone joins with 10 games to go and it's evident we're going down anyway, maybe you can build thinking there's something to go up there. But it depends. If Rodgers comes in tomorrow and we get relegated with Rodgers, I think he's had enough time to turn it round that I probably would have fallen out of love with that idea as well. Do you know what I mean? I think if you get relegated and you've had a long enough time to turn it around, then maybe you shouldn't be given a crack. And I don't think it really matters who we have in the Championship. I think we'll have a really good squad. Matters who we've got. You know what I mean? I think if we got relegated with Rodgers, we just have to go get another manager, and you'd be able to get a top draw manager for that level to get you up. And then again, you get up, and then you need to probably kick on again and sack your manager and go again with someone better. But yeah, I don't know. It all just depends on how long they're in job, mate. For me, it's a bit of a weird one. I just don't think we're a club that can go down with someone and come back up. Ashley, Matty, man, I've been on here long enough to know how good your channel is, mate. Last year we was in great spirits. Beginning of the season, we was on a high. Now, unfortunately, we're here now. Say it how it is. Yeah, thanks, Ashley, mate. Appreciate that. And you have been here a while, haven't you, man? Yeah, so you've seen me absolutely buzzing my tits off, as I say. And now I'm not. Now my tits are firmly stuck on. I need to go, Jim. But yeah, as and when I feel good, you'll see it on here. And as and when I'm sulking and moping about, hopefully we'll be doing it together. But yeah, I appreciate that, actually. Thanks so much, mate. I struggle to take Parker seriously after his Fulham relegation. However, he's miles better than Farke as both player and manager. Yeah. Matty, are you a season ticket holder or pick up a ticket from the ballot? I'm just a member. I'm just a priority member. So I either get in queue online like everybody else and get one, or ballot, or miss out on ballot, and then I just refresh. So there hasn't been a single home game in the last 3 seasons that I've wanted to go to and not gone to. Hull last season, I got married, so I missed that one. I think I've missed 3 home games in the last 3 years, maybe 4 in the last 3 years. And they were games I just couldn't go to for whatever reason. And away games, I shouldn't really go to any because I have my daughter that a lot of weekends as well in between, and family and finances. But if there's an opportunity to go on an away game, I've been jumping on it. So I actually set a goal of going to 5 away games this season, and I've been to 3 already. I'm hoping to do Sunderland and Liverpool away just after Christmas, which again is a bit of an hard finances and just, Christmas with family. I'm hoping to get to them. But yeah, I'm hoping to get to maybe every other away game. So hopefully come end of season, I've done every home game. And yeah, nearly every away game, or maybe half at away games. But yeah, I just get lucky. I don't get lucky. I keep trying. People say you can't get tickets. If you want a ticket, you'll get one. And I honestly, I refresh. It's like I'm playing track and field. I refresh all the time until I get a ticket. And there hasn't been a game I've wanted a ticket for that I haven't got it. But yeah, season ticket. I haven't bothered for a season ticket. I quite like sitting in different seats all the time as well. I quite like that. I don't think so, mate. No. I don't want us Roger Selly fans says he's total trash. Yeah, but someone will say everyone's total trash. Norwich fans will have told us Farke's total trash, you know. How about Arnie Slot coming in? Yeah, I would have him. I would have him. Would he want to come to Leeds though? Not too sure. Not too sure. Yeah, exactly. I think the team on the whole are shite reason why no one else wanted to sign our players. The formation and style are making us look shite. Yeah, right. There's still loads of comments coming in. I'm going to call it a night now because I'm absolutely knackered. It's just at midnight. I mean, honestly, mental. I absolutely love you all the bits. You know that, right? But I'm going to, yeah, I'd love Knutson. But I'm going to call it a night there. Oh, thank you. Honestly, thanks so much. That's been unreal numbers for me. Like 140 people watched for the majority of that. Unreal. Yeah, I need to go to sleep. I'm absolutely knackered. London and back today with a bit of work in between. Matty, as your boy Metcha started a goal fest. That's yeah. I said, didn't I, Rogers? You won't let me forget. I said before we signed DCL, the best striker at the club we currently have, and it was Metcha and Pirro, and I fancied Metcha to do well, and it looks like he's doing it now. Metcha keeps his place as long as he keeps scoring. Yeah, I agree. Throbbing member, Matty. Missed out on Forest away and Liverpool home ballots, but managed to get Spurs and Chelsea next week. Class, man, class. I'm off to Chelsea. I've got the Chelsea ticket. I haven't got a Liverpool ticket yet, but I'm working on it. And yes, I'll just get to work wherever I can when I can. Matty's legend, man. That night when Just Joe got everyone on your channel, what a moment that was for you, man. Yeah, night was. It was. It really was. It's not what you know, it's who we know sometimes. Sometimes you need a little bit of a nudge. I've definitely got a nudge off Joe. I haven't been on Joe's for a while now. Quite like just doing my own thing. And I've doubled in size as well since. So it's all been going strength to strength. I worked really hard, but definitely a leg up from Joe and other people as well have helped me get to where I am today. And, you know, they all know I appreciate it. I've told them enough times. I'm blessed, man. Over 4,000 people subscribe to this channel. Over 100 people want to watch me talk shit at midnight on a Wednesday. We all do it together. We're all feeling the same. And if we're not, we'll put it in chat and we talk about it and we discuss it. And we've got a great community. Not one, you know, a bit of shit in this comment again. 2 hours, you know, hundreds of people dip in and out of this. No arseholes, no cashing receipts, no agendas, just how you feeling? I'm feeling like this. How are you feeling? Let's have a chat about it and see how I feel better at the end of the night. Love it, man. Love it. Night, Matty. Good stream, pal. Night all. Cheers, easy teasy. Appreciate all the comments. Thanks so much, man. Well done, Matty. Lasted longer than Leeds. Can have a well-earned Yorkshire team, mate. Catch you later. Yorkshire lass. Vancouver. Take care over there, Yorkshire lass. Thanks so much, everyone. Smash a like on the way out, please. 144 likes. You absolute legends. Honestly, thanks so much, man. Love you all the bits. There'll be a preview out at some point tomorrow. Late night Leeds on Friday, and then we're into big game on Saturday. We'll see how we go. There'll be probably an instant match reaction from a bar, a pub, somewhere in Leeds City Centre on Saturday. So keep a watch out for that. And I'll probably come back on and do a live on Sunday night, bit of a review. But yeah, take care, everyone. Thanks so much.